Hello and welcome to Roll For It, where we're back for the 5th time. I was going to say in a row, but not quite in a row, but the 5th Christmas that we're doing this Santa
4th
RPG.
in a row, but 5th, yeah.
We missed one year early on before we realized how much
the first year
people
was
loved it.
2017. It's a tradition now.
Yep, it's been going most of the time. Roll For It's been going now.
This is a wackadoodle world too. I'm gonna let you know. The legend tier, they made chaos ensue. It was the day before Christmas Eve that they did that, and you might hear a little bit about it from some elves.
Very afraid of what shenanigans they've got up to this time. We've survived so far, at least I have.
Not everyone has survived. Let's just put it that way.
Oh dear. Well, anyway, let's we'll get through the announcements so that we can get to the fun of it. So today's episode is supported by the entire Legends group. That's the name. Someone was very, very nice and wanted it to be from everybody this year.
I felt like that was so sweet when they said that. I was like, oh, they're like, it's just fitting because we all work so hard on this like little legend tier session. I was like, I'm glad they had fun.
But is it like, the legends send their regards, or is it the legends send their regards?
I mean, I don't know. I'll let you decide at the end.
Oh dear. There's also the holiday surprise for patrons. We hit the end of the deadline, but we haven't sent them out quite yet. So if you're very, very quick, you can sneak in and still get on the list. It's on the Patreon. The holiday surprise. You could sign up for it there.
It's probably gonna be like right
quick.
after this episode.
Yeah. You gotta get that. You gotta get it sorted immediately. But it is still there for now. Also, today we're going to be having a live after show, so when we get to the end, do stick around for a little bit longer because we'll be doing a live after show at the end because it's a one shot. Even though it's kind of a series, there's only one a year, so you get a live after show. I feel
like sometimes people have like questions about the characters and stuff like that. Yeah, so bring your questions.
Usually the players
there were some
have
really
questions
good
when we
ones.
get to the end.
That's true. I can't answer all of those, but I can answer as many as I feel is comfortable that doesn't ruin the next year. But for Grimrose Academy, y'all had some really great questions for the cast. We couldn't even get through all of it because we had to cut off the time.
Yep, and also we're sponsored by Roll20, which we're going to be using today to play Santa RPG. It's the thing we use for like 98% of our shows, basically, is we just run all of them to Roll20. It's super convenient for running a bunch of different RPGs, even custom ones and homebrews, like Santa RPG, which Maggie adapted from Made RPG.
It's slowly becoming its own chaos.
Every year, new alterations get made and updates and tweaks to make it run more smoothly.
Well, and that's a lot to do with the feedback we get from the community. So thank you. Also, I went and watched last year's episode, and I don't know if anyone else gets this feeling whenever you're GMing, but like when you watch what you did before and you're like, ugh, like cringing. I feel like hopefully I've gotten better at it this year.
I watched it back too, and I didn't notice anything weird.
Okay, well,
I was just thinking
self-analyzing.
about Dazzle's next moves.
I never watch my content because I can't stand it. So.
I feel the same way. I just had to kind of remember what happened because my memory is like a goldfish. I just go around the bowl and I'm like, what happened?
1.5 times speed is like the key for that though, because it doesn't quite sound like you, so it's perfect.
Oh,
yeah, that was the thing when I was starting out on YouTube. I got used to hearing my voice at double speed, but still couldn't listen to it at normal speed. I got there in the end. I've done enough stuff now that I can just listen to my own voice and it's fine. But yeah, that's the announcements. Merry Christmas, everyone. Let's get to the fun. Though there is, you see, I've been gone for a few weeks because Ascension wrapped up and I've not been on Grimrose. I've got to like get the gears turning again. We've got to do how you can support us. We have a Patreon.
Yeah.
You may have heard it mentioned when I was talking about the holiday cards and about the legends and various things like that. But we have a Patreon that you can support us on, and that's how we fund all our shows and do all the cool stuff that we do. You can get a bunch of tiers that give you a bunch of rewards. You can get MP3s. You can get after shows, though in this case the after show will be free at the end. We'll also put it up on the YouTube later. You can get character sheets. You can. Oh,
I was going to say, we have our monthly recap coming out on the 22nd, and Bentham and I go over kind of like the future of Roll Forward stuff
yes,
too.
we do.
So,
I forgot. That is coming out.
I think, I think that's kind of like the most important one because it's been
coming out this next
those
week.
of you who know, it's been a doozy of a year for us. And then also losing EE, who, we adore. But Bentham and I have new
Makes it sound like
plans,
he
a
like
new
died.
year.
We didn't like he just he moved on.
die.
It
We
makes
didn't
me
Well,
lose
he went
him.
to a
Second
farm
guess it.
upstate,
Like a-
remember?
Oh.
That's
Oh
what he
yeah,
said.
farm upstate. Farm
Oh
upstate.
no.
He didn't.
Can't visit
That's
him.
fine. He's happy. We can't visit him. We could totally visit him. But
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
we just wanted to kind of make sure we touch base on that too. So
That's coming up. NPC names post as well will be coming up this coming week, and various other things too. After shows and the like for all the things that we've been wrapping up this week. You can also support us in other places. You can do there's other things you get on Patreon. I've listed it many times before. You get the picture. You can also support us on Twitch. You can give us you can subscribe. That gives you emotes and badges and immediate access to the VODs, whereas normally we'd have to wait 24 hours for us to upload them over on YouTube. And you can also give us tips. You can give us bits, and they make things happen in the cup. Physics happens, as it did right then and there, and as it's still doing. Thank you very much, everyone. And you can try and fill that up or empty that as you see fit. We need to make it like align with like Santa's sack. We need to make it like bigger and then have the like bits fall into it. We'll do that next year.
that's such a good idea. Yeah, you just let me know what you need. I can make that happen. We can
All right. We'll
do
see
a
what
whole
we can
thing.
do. You can also support us on YouTube. You can become a YouTube member. That gives you emotes and badges over there as well. And being a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or Patreon supporter all let you join the Discord where you can hang out with us and other fans of Roll Fit and talk about all the things. We've got a room for this. It's the One Shot Saloon. It's where where people can talk about one shots and be fine to use spoilers. And there's non-spoiler rooms as well, of course. Various other things like that. You can also support us by being here, just by showing up. You're already helping us out, you're contributing to numbers and algorithms like that. And if you press more like buttons and things, that usually makes the algorithms like us even more. Just convince the machine to let more people see the cool stuff that we do, and then we can do more stuff. That's how it works. And we also appreciate when you comment and chat. That might contribute to algorithms or it might not, but it does make us happy because we get to see what you think, and we love hearing from you. But that's about all of it. Tell your friends, bring them along too. Now we can get to the game. You can stop listening to me.
Bentham was just really
and Mike can take
excited.
over.
He was just really excited. He's like, we're going, right? All right. With that, a black screen appears on the camera with the words December 24th, 2021, the North Pole. A scene of a large Christmas tree decorated to the tees with tons of presents underneath them. You can see Santa picking up presents, examining them, and putting them in his sleigh as a bunch of the presents all of a sudden come to life in the form of a giant chocolate bunnies, and they begin to attack him. The screen fades. The words present day appear. The camera pans over a snowy village that everyone knows as Santa's village. We see the reindeer stable with a big statue of a sleigh and one reindeer on it that says the Bauble Slaying, but spelt Slaying. We see an elf pushing open a gate, and above it, it says lightning. Dazzle Starshine, describe to us what you look like as you're pushing open one of the reindeer gates.
Dazzle is a normal-looking elf who is in a pink uniform, has blue eyes, and lovely curly brown hair poking out from under his standard issue elf hat. And that's about it, really. He's pretty normal looking. He's just an adorable little guy, who is just
With his adorable curly hair, and as you push the gate open and your hair bounces a little bit, you know that in just moments you need to get down to the big tree. Is there anything you do before you head down to the big tree?
It's time. Does pause for a moment. He's gonna hurry off to one side, and he's gonna try and go through some doors that he went through last year where he found something interesting behind. Or actually, first he's gonna listen at said doors just in case there's anyone on the other side of them.
Yeah, you listen against the door, and you don't hear anything.
I'm gonna push first door open a crack.
You push the door open a crack, and inside, peeking in, you can see the flying kangaroos. And on the ground, there's a bunch of like hay and whatnots.
There's no circle on the ground where there was one before?
There might be underneath all that hay.
I'm gonna sneak in. I'm just gonna brush aside some hay and see if I can see something underneath.
Yeah, you stick your little elf hands in there, and it takes you a bit of time. Had you used maybe a rake or something, and it might have been faster, but you push some aside, and you do get to what feels like a hard stone with little crevices inside of it.
Do I see like the markings that I've seen before?
Yeah, the markings are indents in their little crevices. It looks like something could flow through it.
It's still there. Good. The Stablehand's office, it's like near here, right?
It is. It's back in the other room that you were in, and further off down to the side past. It's like in between where the A team and the B team is, but there's a little office. I mean, we don't call them the A team, B team, but we all know they're the A team and the B team.
Yeah, I head to the office, and I'm gonna again listen at the door. I'm very worried about getting in trouble here.
Yeah, you listen at the door, and there's nothing. You don't hear anything other than maybe like the sound of a machine going off. Not in a bad way, just like it's running, like humming and buzzing.
I will again open
You think
the door.
that probably Chocolate Jump wouldn't be in here because all the elves are supposed to be down by the big tree for the
Everyone's supposed to
announcement.
be at the announcement. No one should be here. I'm gonna open the door.
You put your hand on the doorknob, and it's locked.
Okay, later. And I'm gonna head over to the tree.
All right.
Hurry off through the snow.
Not trying to fiddle with the door much.
Could be late, not again.
Dazzle runs. Roll me an athletics to see how quickly you can do this. Now, this is not going to be something that's like super difficult necessarily. So I would say this is about a 5. It's not super difficult, but it's not very hard. But I would say that it is a little over like a 4 because of the fact that you took all this time to like investigate and check all these things.
Okay. Just gonna roll it, see what happens. That's a 3.
You're going to be late. We pan over now as we can see Dazzle rushing down the hill, running as quickly as possible, tripping over their legs, almost like, when a fawn first comes out and can't quite walk, or a giraffe when it's first standing up.
Definitely just falls flat on his face at least once and is like, oh, not again.
Plops into the snow, and there's a little Dazzle print inside of one of these big snow piles. And we pan over to the big tree. It's all decorated and it looks sparkly, and it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen. And as tiny little elves, this looks amazing. You remember probably when you were decorating this tree and you had to put up scaffolding so high that you could get up to the top and put all the little tiny baubles up there. But now you get to look at it and its gorgeousness on Christmas Eve. And surrounded by you are hundreds of other elves, thousands of other elves, who are all dressed to the T's in their amazing little uniforms, trying to make sure that they look the best they possibly can for Christmas Eve. And the three of you are all kind of grouped up together. Two of you may be not standing quite next to each other with Sunshine in the center. Sunshine, describe what your character looks like. And then Holly do so, and then Chip afterwards.
Yes. So, her first name is Princess. Her last name is Sunshine. So you can call her PS or, Princess Sun or Sunshine or Princess, you got a variety of names to choose from. Princess likes to consider herself just a ray of light, wearing beige clothing. She might be colorblind, who knows? Golden eyes that are always sparkling. I mean, it's dazzling, but not dazzle, and pink hair, which I'm very grateful that I could represent. Princess, can I talk about the types?
I think that'll come through when you're acting, right? Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, just very elegant, but very glamorous while wearing beige at the same time. PS really likes to try and make herself the center of attention while still being graceful and kind and considerate towards Santa.
Yeah, and I think even one of the other elves kind of walks by you and says, I really like your outfit today, Sunshine.
Oh, thank you. Your outfit looks different.
Yeah, I was trying something a little different this year.
Uh-huh,
Maybe it's not my color.
It's different. It shows.
And they feel a little concerned and scuffle off to meet up with their group. Holly.
Next to that awkward interaction is Holly, a little plump elf with tinsel metallic-y hair that has like a short bob of different strands of multicolored metals. Their clothing is a bright gold, like the top of a tree star. And their bright blue eyes are a bit obscured behind a pair of large glasses that she's wearing. She's got on her gold uniform, she's got like a little cookie emblem, and she has an apron that's usually tied around her waist, but because we're at the big tree, she's taken it off to be a bit more presentable.
Adorable. And on the other side of Sunshine, we see Chip. What does Chip look like?
He's got a traditional green outfit, as one would imagine an elf to wear. Beige eyes, bright yellow hair, some freckles that seem to shine on his face a little bit, especially when he smiles. And a very tall hat with a little curl at the tip.
Love it. What kind of conversations are the three of you having? I'll kind of leave you at the bottom of this tree as you're waiting for the town crier to come out.
Oh, Holly, you look today.
Thank you so much. I put away my apron because today is a very special day. December 24th, can't forget.
That's why you look more tidy.
I don't have any flour on me, do I?
Chip, is that flour? Or just like...
She always has flour on her.
But is that...
Always a little bit.
Yeah.
I do my best to keep tidy.
Oof.
No, you look great.
It's
awesome.
like a sprinkling of snow. It is.
Snow just for me. Oh, thanks, PS.
Yeah, just for you.
Think anybody's gonna be late this year?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like everybody's here yet. I'm glad we're
I can't
on
ever tell.
time.
There's so many of us. I can't ever tell. I don't like to count very much.
Is it because you can't count very much?
I mean, I got 10 fingers.
2 ears and 10 toes, probably.
Doesn't use them very much,
Oh.
though.
Don't take your toes out of the boots in the cold, though. That's a bad idea.
What if I need to count?
You're gonna lose some of the toes.
It's fine.
Okay.
I want to keep my
Fine.
shoes on anyway. I don't want to get my feet to get dirty.
I did not want to see your toes, so thank you. Oh, Chip, you're so considerate.
Mm-hmm.
Always looking out for other people by keeping your toes away. I'm gonna tell everybody.
Please don't.
You'll know if the toes come out. The smell is overwhelming.
Oh, come on, Holly. Let's be nice. It's almost Christmas.
Okay.
As the two of them bicker and Sunshine is in between this, talking about Chip's toes. We hear the trumpet sound playing Joy to the World as the town crier appears. And you hear the town crier say,
Traditions young and old, keep our culture bold. With the eve of Christmas near, we must all bring great cheer. Santa would like to invite you all to join him in the hall. A cocoa and ornament station are set up with more information. Get ready for a candy cane race that is sure to make your heart race.
and you see a big timer appear in front of the Christmas tree as it comes out from under the ground. And it has a countdown to Christmas Eve. And you all know this. Every year you compete to see who gets to ride on Santa's sleigh with him and all the reindeer to bring joy to all the girls and boys in all the lands and wave to them as you do the final trek back to the North Pole.
Here we go.
Three of you
sure hope I
realize
win
that
this year.
the three of you
Okay.
realize that one of your companions is missing. It's Dazzle. They're supposed to be with you this year, and you were assigned together, but you haven't seen them yet. You look around and you can see Dazzle running down the hill, flopping into the snow, and makes a little snowman or a snow angel, and then gets back up and starts running towards the tree.
Dazzle, you're late.
Willikers.
Did I miss it?
We're gonna do ornament making.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
go.
Trumpet.
Wait, what are we making?
Ornaments. Come. And I'll start walking towards where everyone else is rushing.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
tell on you.
Thank
I
you.
think it'll be good if we stick together as a team.
Yeah. Thank you for not telling anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said I wouldn't. I don't know about them.
Mm-hmm. I won't. And as we walk, I'll try and get a bit closer to Chip, and softly say, I'm sorry for my comments. I'm just a bit stressed out today. Let's just have a good
No worries.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be completely fine. What are the odds that we can put on the same team this
Yeah.
year?
Okay. Thanks.
I can't wait. Did you make the hot cocoa?
I haven't yet. I don't know who made it this year if it's already prepared.
They should let you make it. You always make great hot cocoa.
Oh, chocolatey Chip. Thanks.
Let's
It's
go.
not cocoa.
I can't wait.
Not Holly.
Yes, is in a
Yes.
bad mood.
Oh, I just thought that's how she was.
As you all make your way to the big hall. This year, you kind of pass through where there's this giant gingerbread house that has all of the. Normally, you see gingerbread making happening in there. And there's also cookies that get made and all those kind of goodies, treats. And you also pass on the right-hand side where the toy shop is, and there's a lot of toy making and wrapping of presents, which Dazzle is very familiar with. But this time you head to the big, great hall. The hall is almost like a giant cafeteria, but it looks magical and beautiful. And it's this huge log cabin with long tables that can fit hundreds of elves on each side, and each of them have their station numbers. There's one section that is made for hot cocoa and making hot cocoa. And there's these little jars with the chocolate powder and all kinds of decorations that you can use to decorate your little hot cocoa jars that you're making. And then there's also on the other side of a bunch of stations that are numbered for ornament making and all kinds of little gadgets and gadgets that you can use to make ornaments. Which station do you guys all decide to go to first?
Ooh.
Hot cocoa.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
I feel
it.
like the cooking stuff is definitely this year's favorite for this group. As you kind of walk over to your hot cocoa stations, you can see way up in the front, there's a stage, and it looks like there's a giant chair positioned for Santa. It doesn't look like it's quite decorated to your standards, maybe. There is a nice plush chair there, but you feel like you could maybe make it a better atmosphere for Santa if you wanted, but that would take you away from your station. Santa's not quite there yet, but you know he shall be arriving to test out the hot cocoa and check on the ornaments later. Which number station do you guys decide to go to?
7?
Wow, that's so weird, PS. I was just about to say that.
Oh, yeah. It's not like you're reading my mind or anything.
Mm-mm.
7.
All right. You go to station 7. You notice that about 2 stations above, there is a station 5 that kind of has like a memorabilia happening there. No elf has chosen to take that one because the number 5 in the North Pole is now kind of taken because Mince Pie has been missing for many years at this point. And no one has found any details about Mince Pie. It's kind of a cold case. But people still remember Mince Pie. And they're not sure if it's just been a tradition or if it's that people really do care.
Well,
Maybe we could make an extra cocoa and put it on that station.
maybe you can.
Okay, I'm really good at making cocoa.
Well,
It's
I'm
very
better.
nice. I'm not going anywhere near that station. It's got bad luck.
Bad juju.
Chip, actually, you know what? If you're not going to help us with the cocoa, do you think you'd be so kind as to maybe, if you could put like 1 or 2 of my decorations up on Santa's seat?
Oh, I wouldn't want somebody to think that they're my decorations, though. They're your
No.
decorations.
They have my name on them. Let me just cross out the words. There we go. And now there's something on the top, and it just says now Princess Sunshine. The beginning of her name has been crossed out.
I don't know. Am I supposed to leave the station?
Yeah, you're not helping with the cocoa.
If you want to
know,
help with
Making
the
your own
cocoa. Yeah.
You know that, Chip. You are supposed to stay in this station. It is your elfly duty to stay in the station. But I think what Princess Sunshine is doing here is trying to make with you. Is that right? You're trying to make Chip have more fun than worrying so much about your elfly duties of making hot cocoa.
You got it.
So
Are you okay
I
with
can
that?
agree or disagree to that then?
Yes.
Or-
And if you do, we will be doing a little roll here right off the bat.
I'll do it.
All right. So how this is going to work is that you're each going to do a roll, and we'll see whose is highest. So, Sunshine, how do you think you're using? Are you using affection to get a Chip or to do this, or are you thinking it's more cunning?
Only because of my stats, it's going to be affection. PS's version of affection, which is not always the kindest, but it's what she can manage.
Yeah, it's like,
There's a
well, you don't
smile.
want to make hot cocoa, so like, why don't you just go
Yeah.
decorate? And here, take this decoration, go over there and do that. Okay.
I'm looking out for you.
Well, how do you think you are defending against this this temptation to go decorate instead of cooking?
Probably with luck.
Luck. All right, that makes sense. Like luck of whether you think about it or not. All right, so each
Yeah.
of you do your rolls. Princess Sunshine is going to set the standard, which is a 4, and Cobalt. Chip has succeeded with a 6. So take 2 stress, Princess Sunshine.
Oh gosh. Okay.
As you try to attempt to dissuade our dear Chip Flurry from doing things that are not of elfly duty.
Mhm.
But Chip, I think you, maybe by luck, in the sense of luck, you get a little distracted and you see the hot cocoa mugs. They're pretty cool looking this year. And you think that you could make like a fun pattern with the cocoa. It might not taste the best, but you think it'll look cool.
Yeah, maybe I can make a snowflake in the top.
Mhm.
Ooh. Do it.
What were you talking about again? It's fine. Snowflakes.
What? No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just if only Dazzle was. Dazzle, how goes your cocoa making?
I've never made cocoa before,
Oh,
but there's
Could
always
you-
a first time to try.
or you could never try. I'll make your cocoa, and I don't know how many times I can do this. You can go put my ornaments on Santa's chair.
I
Little
don't know.
baubles.
We're supposed to be doing our job right now. If we want Santa to give us a ride on the sleigh, then we've got to do our jobs.
This is what teamwork is. Dazzle, I'll do your cocoa making and you can put the baubles on. It's like we're Team 7 doing better than any other team.
I don't know. I think I'd rather just go on this station. Dazzle shuffles over to station 6 and just, see what I can do. I gotta try my
Dazzle leaves your station and goes to his own. As the three of you are in station 7, and Dazzle moves a little closer. You can tell that like a lot of people are trying to avoid station 5. Maybe some of them feel the same way as Chip, that maybe there's bad juju over that way. Who knows? But the rest of you begin making, or everyone begins making their hot cocoa. We're going to do this in an order. So I guess station 6 will start us off to see how the cocoa making goes. And in regards to how difficult this is, you've probably all, well, except for apparently our lovely Dazzle has never made hot cocoa before. All of you have probably made hot cocoa before. So this will not be a super difficult thing. So I would say difficult for an amateur, but easy for a pro to do this to the level that Santa's looking for. So it is going to be a 6 to try to beat this.
All right. Dazzle is
And
at
it
the
is skill.
station right next to Mince Pies, completely unfazed by, the bad luck or anything. Just normal. I got a 6.
Woo.
Perfect. We'll describe what your hot cocos look like after everyone does their roll. And then I guess I'll just go in order of where I see the cameras on my screen. Holly, do your roll.
All right. 16.
16. I think you're getting candy canes already.
What?
Yeah, so for
canes.
every 5 above, you get a d6. So you get 2d6. So roll me 2d6, and that's how many candy canes you're getting.
2d6 gave me a 5.
You get 5 candy canes. Very nice. Sunshine.
So can I add my +1 skill to my skill for this? I'm not-
So for this, you mean you want to roll? You want to add a 1d6 to it?
I think so, because I have +1 in hot cocoa cooking.
Oh,
Making-
that.
making.
Yes, you will. So, update your skill to be a 3 real quick, and then do your roll. Unless there's a
Okay.
pop up. I can't remember if there's a pop up.
And then make sure to put the skill back down after.
And then put the skill back down after. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? It's still perfect.
Perfect. Nice. You got a 6. Chip.
Ha.
Oh, Chip.
Oh.
You're gonna take 2 stress, Chip,
It'll work.
and it doesn't quite look like a snowflake.
Mm-mm.
So we'll
like a
start with
blizzard.
Dazzle. Describe to us what yours looks like.
Well, The threshold was 6, right? So it's the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
average, passable cup of cocoa you could possibly make. Like there's no fancy stuff on it. It's just basic cocoa. There's nothing special. But he did succeed. He's very proud of himself.
All right.
I think
Sunshine as well. You got a similar level of cocoa making here. What does yours look like?
Okay, so I'm gonna flip the script here because, like, you, Dazzle, you call that average and basic. I call a 6 the most, like, it's the exact cup of hot cocoa that you wanted. It's the exact cup of hot cocoa that you expected. It's the one that you imagine when you're thinking nostalgically about sitting in front of a hot fireplace and drinking some hot cocoa. You know, it's not gonna win hot cocoa of the year, but gosh darn it, or heckin' snowflakes, this is the best generic cup of hot cocoa ever.
I love it. Chip, what does yours look like?
Well, Chip tried to mix the ingredients up a little bit different to make this snowflake happen, and when he did, he got the sugar proportions off with the chocolate, so it looks like a messed up blizzard instead of a snowflake. Some of the sugar's not all the way melted. It's a little bitter. But you know, he tried his best, and sometimes you just can't hit that mark. So it's not his forte.
Now, Holly, as all of them are looking at their hot cocos and thinking this is like, ooh, the perfect cup, or this looks all right, I think. And then the other one's like, well, this is definitely not great, but I did the thing. Yours, everyone, all the elves around you kind of turn to look at yours, and it's like, oh, what does your hot cocoa look like?
I think it's in a nice round mug that I've used some lemon juice and crushed candy canes to sugar rim the glass of the mug around the top. It's deep, thick, chocolatey goodness on the inside and a dazzling tower of whipped cream to top it all off.
All right, I'll leave you kind of having a moment to talk as you are looking over your hot cocos.
See, I told you Holly's cocoa's always the best. That's why I wanted her to make mine.
Wow, yeah.
I could try and make another one.
We don't have to drink our own, do we?
Well,
I think it's for Santa.
Oh, no, I'll drink my own.
I still think
looks good.
mine's perfect.
Margaret, you mentioned that the atmosphere didn't seem super jolly for when Santa comes.
there is a plush, nice chair up there on the stage, but it just doesn't look as festive as it could be. You know, you've seen a setting that is festive, and for you, that looks like someone just pushed a chair on top of a stage and called it quits.
Okay. What do you think, everybody? Should we use some of our extra colored napkins to try and make some quick decorations for Santa's chair?
Okay, now this is a good idea.
Well, now we've done our work.
Yeah, now we have extra time.
Only if my ornament gets to go on the chair. Look at this ornament. And it's just like, it's a very generic bauble. Nostalgic. It's just like a simple red. And it's got scribbled out in like Sharpie and then Princess Sunshine.
Let's see. And I'll try and make like a garland with my leftover napkin materials.
All right. Are you all helping make this garland, or is it kind of you're just all doing your own thing to add to the atmosphere?
I'll help.
Sunshine is not helping.
All right. Chip and Dazzle with me.
Okay. So for this, Chip and Dazzle, roll your skill, and this will get added to the roll for. And for this, I don't think a garland is like something only a pro can pull off. So I'm going to say this is a 7 difficulty.
We got a 1 and a 4.
So you've got 5 so far. So really, you just need to get above a 2. And I feel like
I can't fail.
Yeah, you can't fail this.
I got an 8.
All right. And
We'll roll
with
solo.
that, yeah, you did. Chip,
I'm
you get
helping.
6 stress. Dazzle, you're going to get 3 stress. As you are definitely helping with this, but you're taking a little stress in doing so. But Char, Holly does get this done. This garland is made. It's quite beautiful. Dazzle helped a little bit. Chip,
Helping.
not so much. But maybe, when you all lived together, you probably knew he wasn't very great at decorating anyway. There's history there, y'all. And you now have a beautiful garland. What does it look like?
Oh, thank you all so much. And Holly is just pushing it forward so that everyone can see. I think it's got it's red and green using the napkins that we have, and we've sort of folded them in certain ways to kind of make. Chip was talking about snowflakes earlier. It's got a snowflake design.
Those are good. Those are easy.
Yeah.
Did I get my little ornament on it? I would like to have sneaked that on.
Ooh, yeah. Where are you putting the ornament on the garland?
The middle.
The middle,
wherever
of
the
course.
center is.
Yeah. Now you got to get it on the stage and put it up there. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult. You do see that there is some semblance of kind of a ladder. It looks like a candy cane ladder. It's very cool. It looks like it's probably very tasty too. And you can see kind of off to the right-hand side of the stage. It looks like maybe they tried to use it for the garland that was by the windows, but they didn't quite finish.
Okay, let's go. Let's put it up before he gets here. Come on, everybody.
I can do it. I can do it really fast.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, Chip, you are so responsible.
So one person needs to hold the ladder, and the other person needs to climb the ladder and
What
put
if
the
I-
garland up.
Could I just teleport on top of the chair,
Oh my
back
God.
of the chair, and hang it that way?
Genius.
The chair is not going to give you enough height to get to the top there because you're a little elf. Like
Okay.
you get on top of the chair and it's like, great, you're on top of a chair, but you can't touch the ceiling.
Oh, we're hanging it on the ceiling, not the chair.
Yeah,
itself.
I imagine you're hanging it on the front of the stage, right?
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm imagining. Where were you guys thinking about putting the garland?
I didn't make
We
it.
could decorate it on Santa's chair if that's easier.
You could decorate Santa's chair.
We
yeah,
did
if you
want to. We did have a jazz up
but
the
he's
chair.
gonna sit on it then.
Ooh, that's a good point. We can.
I think you can still get it up
Yeah.
high with your
We
teleport.
could do the ladder, I guess.
But I will
the
say that
angle of the
with your teleport, you won't have to do a roll for getting on the ladder. So if someone
Yeah, I
just
can
wants to
just
hold
go
the
boop.
ladder, you just need to boop. You just boop it to the top of the ladder.
I'm not very strong. Does somebody who's stronger want to help hold the ladder?
Well, I'm strong, but I'm gonna put it up there.
Dazzle, look at those muscles.
Dazzle
Dazzle
looks
is-
at their muscles, and in comparison to Sunshine, is not as muscular as Sunshine is.
Super weedy. Dazzle's like, sure.
You are so darned. You're so. I need some nice festive, not like swear words that aren't our names as well. We've done a good job at taking some of them. Garland, snowflake. What are the things that you kiss under?
Mistletoe?
Mistletoe. Oh, mistletoe, you got this.
Sure, yeah, I got this. I'm gonna attempt to brace this ladder.
You grab the candy cane ladder, your little feet, holding it up in the center, hopefully, or on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side, trying to see if you can hold it up long enough for Chip to be able to climb up there. And this is going to be an athletics to hold it, unless there's something else that you think would be applicable here. Like,
Nah,
I would maybe allow
athletics.
all right,
Oh boy. 4.
or I didn't give you a difficulty, so will say that it's 4 because it's probably not too hard to hold the ladder up.
Mm.
And
They're just a
because Cobalt Chip is teleporting up there, it's a little bit easier. But you do feel like Dazzle is not holding on to the ladder very securely, that you need to be quick. So I am going to have you do a roll here just to see how quickly you can get them up on there.
Okay.
And this is going to be, try not to roll until I give you the difficulty number because I don't want to skew the things. I would say that this is going to be a 5. Just be quick. And I would allow athletics or luck.
Dang it.
Take 2 stress.
Oh.
as you try to put it up there, and you are able to get them up there, but it's like you clash to the floor and a loud noise happens. The candy cane ladder kind of breaks in one part as you get your final part of this garland up, and every elf looks over at the 4 of you.
Sorry.
Chip, wow, what? Oh, ginger snaps.
I'm okay.
You got it up though. That's what matters.
While that was happening, was there be enough time for me to try and make a second Coco to replace Chips?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, you're great.
Potentially, yeah. Depending on how you roll, I will say that works. But
Okay.
I think that whilst this is happening, and I guess, okay, maybe all the elves are looking at all 3 of you except Holly, because Holly's back at Station 7.
Yeah.
But Pudding Everlove comes over as she sees the 3 of you making quite a ruckus. And she says,
What are the 3 of you doing?
Decorating.
You're supposed to be making hot cocoa and ornaments.
We made
We
the
made
cocoa.
the hot
we
cocoa.
didn't make ornaments though. Do we need to do both?
Miss
Get to
Pudding.
your stations. And now I gotta figure out how to make another candy cane ladder.
Miss Pudding, you are a skillful elf of great talent, and you will make your own hot cocoa and put this ladder back together, just like we made our hot cocoa and put this garland up. I was the director of this entire operation, so if it goes well, please make sure Santa knows that it was Princess Sunshine, but if it goes poorly, all of this is on Dazzle Starshine's shoulders.
Keep lying. You're going to make Holly mad.
Miss Everlove kind of looks at the 3 of you and shakes her head and says,
Doesn't matter. Go to your stations.
and she's just looking at the broken piece of the candy cane and looking at the ladder and kind of thinking about how she can adhesive this together with some kind of like melting device.
Marshmallow?
Yeah, and the head of sweets fixes the ladder as you all go to the ornament station. And Holly, you're wrapping up your hot cocoa to try to help Chip. As much as the 2 of you maybe are, going through rough times right now, you do still love him. So let's see how your hot cocoa making goes. This is a skill, and again, this will be a 7.
Okay. Aw, it's a 4, which is the same as what he got before.
It's even
You're going to
funnier.
take 3 stress.
Oh, that's what I get for trying to help people.
3 stress. What does this look like?
I think I just didn't have time. I was too distracted. So making the candy cane rim and the whipped cream didn't happen. But it does have still that thick, nice chocolatey, like real chocolate used to make this hot chocolate.
There's a
All
redeeming
right,
quality.
a little thick. When you drink it, sometimes it's like, and they put too much powder in. Maybe it's it's like a mud soup. Yum.
Mhm.
And you see your 3 companions heading over to station 6 and 7 of ornaments. Actually, Dazzle, do you decide that you're going to go to the same station as your companions, or are you going to stick with the 6 on your own?
I'll go to 6 again.
Okay.
I don't
Dazzle
know
still
what these
decides
people
to
do
sit
it all
alone.
crowding up on one station. It's weird. It's not protocol.
I thought it was a team effort.
Mhm.
And
Where's
the
the
rest
team?
the rest of you head over to your ornament making stations. You are going to make your ornaments. You can see there's a whole bunch of things that you can use to make your own ornaments. You can do a bobble ornament. You can do like a flat ornament. You can do whatever type of ornament you want. So you get your creative juices and elf juices flowing, and you've got an idea now. You're going to make it. Let's see how your rolls go for ornament making.
Okay.
Dazzle, give me your ornament roll. And again, this will be your elfly skills.
Okay.
And this is going to be, I'm going to say that this is more of an 8. It's like in between. Because
Ooh.
making a good
Uh-oh.
ornament that doesn't break when like the cat knocks it off the tree, it's not the easiest of things, or that is going to make it last through the years so that every year you can re-put up this ornament with the year on it, versus, you know, something that you put on the tree and then it breaks and then you're like, oh, well, I guess that one's getting thrown away.
I'm now imagining that there's like a durability testing room, and it's just like you open the door and
A
it's
room
just
of
cats. Just cats and trees and fallen trees and cats wrapped around trees. Shattered ornaments everywhere. It's great. Okay, I'm gonna roll. 12!
Woo!
No, 6 on the dice.
Yeah.
Is amazing. I think you do get some candy canes here.
Well, not quite, because if the target's 8 and you have to be 5
yeah,
over it, then I didn't quite make it. It's impossible for me to make it. Just too bad at my job.
It was close. Well, you could have spent some candy canes to get
I
it, but
could've.
in the end of the day, if you want to be with Santa on the sleigh, yeah, I rhymed. I'm good at this. I'm just kidding. Next up at the station right now is Sunshine.
Okay, and I'm just double checking about spending a candy cane so I can remove a stress, raise an attribute, add +1 bonus to a roll before the multiplication. Yes, okay. So I'm gonna add a candy cane to this roll.
To add
So-
+1.
Yes.
Do note that if you add +1 to this, that you won't be able to gain candy canes if you go over the number. Just letting you know.
Also,
Okay,
I think in
okay.
order to add a bonus, you need to have enough candy canes to be able to pay for the maximum roll, and you roll a...
Which needs to be 6, right?
Yeah, and you only have 4.
Got it. Okay. Nope.
So you
just
need some
kidding
more
then.
candy canes first.
Okay. Well, I have a
And
goal.
actually, hold on. You all do get candy canes for making your hot cocoa.
Oh,
Santa
who
hasn't
judged
tested-
our hot cocoa? Is that just kind
Yeah,
of like
Santa hasn't judged them yet.
okay?
But you did complete it. So I would say this is roll 3d6 each of you, and you will get a minimum of 9 candy canes.
Ooh, pretty good.
Got a 14, an 11,
11's
a
okay.
9.
I got 12.
Bentham got the minimum. So I
Oh.
got 12. So 12, 14, 11, and 9. Add those to your candy canes. So you do have enough to be able
Awesome.
to do that if you'd like. And to give yourself a +1, you're going to roll 1d6 candy canes to see how many you're putting. It's like a little gamble.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a d6 first.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna only 2 candy canes.
Not bad. Remove 2 candy canes. And then up your skill by 1, and then do your roll. And remember to put it back down to 2 again.
Right. Thank you. Hey, 18.
There we go.
18. You don't get any bonus candy canes because if you use this, if you use,
Understood.
if you use candy
Yeah.
cane, you can't gain candy canes.
But this
But you don't
ornament-
fail.
amazing.
So here we have a very nice ornament. Chip, let's see your ornament making. Cold's face.
That's as
The
good as
best
it
you
gets.
can do. Yeah.
Oh, you did the best you could do, but it's not quite there. I think it does look like a proper ornament, but it's probably going to not make it through the year to next year when you put it in the container. You're going to take 2 stress. And
Boy.
last but not least, Holly, you dash over to the station after you just made this not so great hot cocoa. You're like, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You sit down and you start making your ornament. Let's see how you do. And don't forget to take your 2 stress, Chip.
I got an 8. So I met the
8.
difficulty.
You met the difficulty. So we shall go forward. Dazzle, describe what your ornament looks like.
I think he tries for something a little bit more complicated than like a bauble. He goes for like one of those 3D molded things where like you stamp it into a shape, and he's gonna make the shape of a reindeer in gold.
Aww.
And it comes out quite nice.
Gold. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. But Sunshine's looks way better. Sunshine, what does yours look like?
There was a bin of like arts and crafts stuffs, and there was just like a pile of like sparkling rhinestones, I guess, or gemstones. So Sunshine just took a pile of them and started to mold them together. And without even realizing the powers of like their snowflake making skills, partly fueled by the rage to do better than Chip and Holly at making a snowflake, she begins to craft like this most beautiful, sparkling, it's a silver and gold snowflake like no other. Not too big, not too large, but it catches every single light in the room, and it creates this like reflection of snowflakes. It's like a disco ball snowflake. And written very, very small and like a pen is Princess crossed out Princess Sunshine.
Perfect. Then we have Holly's. Holly, what does yours look like?
I used the clay at the station to craft a realistic chocolate chip cookie that's got like the cute little like 3 teeth bite out of it. And it's got a red ribbon to tie it to the tree. Just simple.
And then Chip.
After trying to go way too fancy with the hot chocolate, he decided just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. And he just did 3 circles and made a snowman ornament. And that's basically circles and a carrot nose and maybe a little hat. Nice and simple.
It's simple. It probably will fall apart. But it can go on the tree.
It'll last
maybe
through Christmas.
If the string stays together and it doesn't, fall off, it's fine. And you all prepare your ornaments. You're going to put your ornaments on the tree. There is a tree next to, that is being like pushed onto the stage next to Santa's chair. And there's a table that's now being set up so that he can have a place to put his hot cocoa. Some of the other elves have been doing this to help make an atmospheric setting for Santa. And your guys' ornament is front and center right there. Everyone can see it. The little star sunshine bauble at the center of these beautiful snowflakes. And you're going to go up in line and put your ornament up there and then get your hot cocoa ready as Santa has arrived. As Santa arrives, everybody's excited. They can hear the jolly jingle of Santa's, belt kind of jingling throughout the corridor of the hall. And you see him in his red suit with perfectly fluffy trim and his little belly jiggling as he giggles, and his rosy red cheeks just smiling from ear to ear. Mrs. Claus standing quite behind him. She whispers something into his ear, and he smiles and looks back at her and gives her a kiss on the cheek, and she heads off. She doesn't stay in the hall. Looks like she's busy doing other things, but she does leave a tray of cookies on the table, which you all know Mrs. Claus's cookies are the best. She doesn't leave enough for everybody, but there is enough for some special elves if they grab them. And there is also you see some elves putting some eggnog on another table as well. So it's going to be like a little celebration that you can have whilst Santa is trying all the hot cocos and checking your ornaments as you put them on the tree. He walks up and sits down on the chair, and he looks over at you all, and one by one you'll come up to the station. But before anything, I do want to give you guys some candy canes for achieving a nice atmosphere with Santa. And that's going to be 2d6 with a minimum of 6. So you're rolling to see if you can go above 6.
I got 6.
8,
9.
8, 9. So everybody
Ooh.
except Shar got a little over the amount. Very, very nice.
I rolled a 9 for the 3d6 and the 2d6.
Mm.
Very, very nice. And then we will see what happens next as Santa sits down in his chair, being jolly as ever. We'll just go in the order that we have for originally. So Dazzle, you are next in line. You've been seeing other elves go up. Santa's been trying their coffee, their cocoa. I'm thinking about coffee, cocoa, and watching as they put the bauble on this little tree. You're up first of your group.
Merry Christmas. I did my best, and I hold out the cocoa.
Oh, 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 that's all I could ask for, Dazzle.
Tell me how it is. How did I do?
Very nice. A good cup of cocoa.
And he places
Perfect.
it on the table, and another elf quickly runs and grabs it. And then he watches as you go to put your ornament on the tree.
Oh, hurry up. It's my turn
I'm
next.
using the candy cane ladder for this that's been hastily repaired.
It's a little tree, so there's
Aw, that's
a
good.
little tree that's next to Santa, so it's like every elf can put it on. And you've been noticing as each elf does this, the ornament kind of disappears, and the ornament appears on like a bigger tree in the hall.
Ah, that's much smarter than the thing we were doing. I hang up my ornament.
The joy of Christmas magic.
You put your ornament on the tree.
Ah, what a fine ornament. Very well done, Dazzle. I remember your present last year. The finest wrapping.
That was some of my best work.
He grins and his belly kind of jiggles with that smile. And you feel like you did a good job on this as you got your candy canes. And you can roll a 1d6 for successfully attending to Santa. And you are looking to get a minimum of 3 or above. Or you will get a minimum of 3. You're trying to roll for above it.
3 it is. I rolled a 2.
All right.
Oof.
Next up, Holly, you're right behind Dazzle.
That's me. Sorry. Good job, Dazzle. And I approach with my mug and my cookie ornament. I say, now this one's just for the tree, so make sure you don't eat it. But here's the hot chocolate.
And Santa looks at it and without even drinking it yet says,
Oh my. Holly, you've done the cookie crumbs well with this one.
It is the family recipe.
he takes a big sniff of it as it smells delicious, as you know you do when and you hold a cup of hot cocoa and it feels so warm in your hands. And he takes a good long sip, and he looks like he's very much enjoying it. His rosy cheeks kind of like almost, you feel like they're glittering, but they're probably not. And he sets down the hot cocoa and says,
Why, that was the most tasty cocoa I've ever had. Even better than your mother's. Now, I'd love to see that ornament of yours.
Of course. Here you go.
And you put the ornament on the tree, and he inspects it, and it appears over on the other tree as it's passed. Roll me a 1d6 with a minimum of 3.
All right. 3.
You get your 3 candy canes.
Thank you,
Next up-
Santa.
Oh no, thank you, Holly.
And Sunshine, you've been antsy, just waiting for your
Yes.
turn. It is your turn.
Okay, finally. I'm gonna like skip up, and then when I get to Santa, like I'm gonna do like a curtsy, a spin, a bow. It's the whole flourish, and then present the hot chocolate.
Yeah, as you do this whole little dance thing, are you trying to impress Santa with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to roll me an affection.
Can I?
This is going to be, let me see what the difficulty will be. I feel like it's not too hard. I will say a 6 difficulty on this end.
Okay, let's do it. Dang it!
Ooh, take
4.
2 stress. How does this like curtsying maybe not go quite how you were expecting?
I trip over my feet and I spill a little of the hot cocoa on the floor.
Oh no, a little of the hot cocoa slips on the floor. An audible gasp from all of the elves can be heard and echoing in the hall. And another elf quickly runs over and cleans up the hot cocoa, the tiny little spill, and runs back to the other side of the room.
Sorry. So sorry, Santa. Here you go. It's just one mouthful less.
Oh, that's all right. Bring it on over.
And he takes a sip of it, and he looks content about the hot cocoa, and he sets it down. And he kind of looks over to you and says,
Now the ornament.
See, now this will outshine any curtsy that I could ever do. Let me just, it's around this tray. And even like the little dangly bit is like bedazzled, like crushed stones, and like it was glued, like pressed, and yeah, it's a whole bit. Here you
Yeah.
go. And they raise it, and like a disco ball, it just kind of creates that glittering effect.
yeah. And you hear in the
Sparkles.
audience as everyone's kind of watching, the elves who are done are already grabbing cookies and a little eggnog, and they're sitting at the tables and they're like watching, and you hear a ooh across the hall as your disco ball ornament shines through the room and hits the other lights that are glowing all around the room and makes even more sparkles. You put it on the tree, and Santa stands up and just applauds your ornament.
Oh, what a fine ornament. This must go on the big tree outside.
Yes.
And one of the elves nods, and yours disappears but doesn't show up on the tree inside the hall. You're assuming it's outside on the
Mhm.
big tree. And the next up will be Chip.
I'm
Chip.
gonna give you a D6 while you do that.
Yeah. Roll your d6 for the atmosphere.
Oh,
You get
geez.
3.
Thanks.
Oh, Chip.
Oh, Chip. Chip will saunter up and hi Santa, I tried to do something different, but I don't know if it worked. I'm sorry, you have to drink this, but here you go. And then like as he's like lifting the cocoa up to him, he's like, wait a second, that doesn't look like the cocoa I made. That's weird. But he just thinks that in his head.
Yeah.
It's
And
got
you
some crumbles
hand-
around the edge. And
Yeah, you hand the hot cocoa that Holly made,
Oh no!
which is a little better than the one you made, right? But not really.
Yeah.
it was the same
It's the
number.
same.
It was the
Yeah.
same number. Okay, it's the same. It's just not quite. You're like, that doesn't look like mine. Santa sniffs this hot cocoa and looks down at it. Because, sometimes people put like whipped cream. Yours does not. He can see the little floating bits of powder at the top. When they don't quite mix in with the thing. And he just sets it nicely on the table next to him.
Well, you know what? If you
Doesn't
need any of the
drink it.
reindeers brushed, I'm your guy. I'm your elf. I can groom all the reindeers.
Well, then, perhaps next year we'll try to assign you to the reindeer stalls. How's your ornament making?
I think it's better. He'll hold up the little snowman he made.
Yeah, you hold the
Took my time
snowman
with
up,
it.
and Santa's like,
Valiant effort, Chip. But I think you might have to take another stab at that.
All right,
It's
I'll
all
keep
right.
practicing.
It's all right. Sometimes we have to learn, and learning takes time. You'll do better next time.
and he kind of pats your side. You're not getting an extra candy canes for this one. As you head down, and your ornament does not appear on the tree, but it does stay on the little tree that's next to Santa, and so on and so forth as they continue. Do you all grab a cookie? There's just 4 of Mrs. Claus cookies left. There are also a little bit of eggnog left, just enough for the 4 of you if you share.
Definitely.
We're gonna share the eggnog.
You can have some of mine, Princess Sunshine. I just want my
Oh.
cookie.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's weird. Nice. I don't know what that is.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, do you want me to eat your cookie?
Sure.
I don't deserve a cookie.
Oh, no worries. I got you.
Dazzle, why don't you want to eat a cookie?
I'm not hungry. I don't feel like cookies right now.
Are you sure that's the reason?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel really suspicious, so I'm gonna use my lie detector ability.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, I like that.
I think I have to spend a stress.
Let's
Ooh.
double check what yours said, because I think you did have to do something to get yours. Yeah. By taking 1 stress, you can make other players or Santa admit if they lied. So remove 1 of your stress
Okay.
and make sure you guys are keeping what your max stress is too, so that we can always make you get back there eventually. Dazzle.
Thank you. Okay, yeah.
You're not quite telling the truth about why you don't want to have cookies and eggnog. What is the real reason? As Holly pries.
I don't trust Mrs. Claus's cooking.
What?
What?
It's silly. It's just a me thing. It's nothing.
Oh my goodness, hot gossip!
Blasphemer.
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I don't want her to know. She'll be mad.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm mad to even hear that.
I'm
What
sure
makes
they're
you not
fine.
trust it?
You'll be fine.
Do you have like past
Better eat that
experience?
cookie.
It's like half of it left. Tastes good to me. What's wrong with you? Do you want the half?
Yeah, Sunshine, you ate 2 cookies, right? And Cookie,
Yeah.
Cookie Crumb, you ate 1. And Chip, you didn't eat 1 because you didn't feel like you earned 1? Okay. I just want to have an
Deserve it.
understanding.
Is there like a past experience you've had? Did you get food poisoning?
Poison. Do tell.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Don't make me use my stress again. Just tell me.
Please don't stress Holly out, please.
I just want to know the hot goss.
Well, I don't know, Mrs. Claus. She just seems like creepy. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, this gets deeper and deeper.
What?
I look over. Is Mrs. Claus still nearby?
She left, and for all of you, she's never done anything creepy.
Yeah.
All of her
Hmm.
cooking is like the best cooking that you've ever eaten, ever. And Holly Cookie Crumble, you are, that's a big statement since your family is like a lineage of cookie making people. And Sunshine, you as well. You're a huge chef. You look up to Mrs. Claus. Like she is like the epitome of what you want to be when you think about baking and cooking. Other than maybe Everlove, because she's also really good.
I can't even process this. How
Well,
do you sleep with yourself?
Well,
At
now
night.
you got to have 2 cookies because you got my cookies. So there you go. That's my loss is your gain.
It's really good though. Like I just
Yeah, I'm
Don't
sure.
understand.
I'm just being silly. It's just Christmas time stress.
I think Mrs. Claus might have made your candy canes. I'll take them from you if you don't need them.
No. That's fine. These are mine.
Okay.
Oh, that was good, Chip.
If everyone's eating and drinking, I would like to spend a bit of time. Maybe we could try and like organize a song to sing before Santa leaves for the day.
Yeah.
Well, how about Santa Claus is coming to town, everybody? Let's jazz it up in here.
Yeah. Let's have it's singing. Hmm.
And I think that is going to be you're trying to kind of make an even more exciting atmosphere for Santa here. So Char, this is going to be, I feel like it's an affection to get all of the other elves in on it, unless you think there's something else that you believe it would fit under.
To try and rally people, I think that affection works for that. Sure.
And I think that this is going to be, I mean, all elves love singing. I feel like it's not going to be super difficult. So I will say a 6.
Okay,
So
so
are
I have to
you-
get a 3 or higher.
Merrymaking, or are you just like making a good vibe?
I think it's making a good vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll help with that.
Oh, you'll help me. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good at telling people what to do.
Thanks. P.S.
You're welcome.
All right, then. If anyone's helping, you'll be rolling your affection.
Okay.
And the DC is 6.
I can help.
Let's know that historically I don't tend to make this. Nope.
So take 2 stress, B.
Okay. Ouch.
That was a bad roll.
Dazzle
for me.
does
8.
help.
Ooh. So that's a +1.
Chip, are you helping in the singing or you feeling down
Yeah, I
about
guess.
Holy cow!
Nailing it.
it? Hold
Wow.
on.
I'm good at some
Yeah,
things.
I guess, he says.
Wow.
Roll 2d6.
You're like an opera singer.
You get 12 candy canes.
Dang,
Oh
dude.
my goodness. Don't
Yeah.
even need your
You
candy
lead the
canes, Dazzle.
choir.
Holly, roll yours as well, but y'all are definitely rallying these folks to sing.
All right. 20.
Woo! All right, give me a second to
Wow.
get yours. Roll me 2d6
Okay.
and
10.
candy canes. All right. I feel like we need to hear this song.
Yeah. What do y'all got?
Like singing right now?
Yeah, I want to hear this. Here comes Santa
Better
Claus
watch
song.
out.
You better not cry.
You better
Not pout. I'm
pout.
telling,
telling
you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Down. And then we all break out into this large chorus of singing.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
Yeah,
Break
I love
dancing.
it.
This is
So
like
there's a couple-
checking it.
Why?
Trying to keep track.
Dazzle does not know the words. And I feel like Sunshine
No
is
rhythm.
just tries to dance as like, well, add some backup dancing, but is like really off with the movements. And there's a bunch of other people who start joining in. A few of them bring in some instruments to add another layer. There's someone who beatboxes behind. It gets a little crazy, and it's this joyous celebration of amazing Christmas cheer as Santa continues to drink hot cocoa and laugh, and he kind of joins in with the singing as well. And it is just this very beautiful moment of all of you kind of singing a wonderful song. Now, as you're all singing, it gets a little exciting, so much that Santa starts tapping his foot, and it's kind of making a little bit of a shake on the stage. And you realize that the stage is not made the best. Someone was cutting some corners, and one of the scaffolding pieces at the top that's holding some of this garland cannot hold the weight of the plants that are up there. They're very beautiful. It's like garland that's like hanging and dangling. I don't know if you guys have seen those before. People put them up in their houses, but they're heavy, and you have to like wrap them with like, you know, on nails and stuff. Yeah, it just gets a little crazy, and it's too much weight, and it looks like this piece is going to fall down on top of Santa. What do you all do?
And I rush him to try and get him to move to the side.
Holly's going to quickly try to grab Santa. Dazzle yells, "You better watch out!" It's almost like in line with the song.
I can just teleport and push him, right?
Yeah, you teleport and push him. What do you do, Sunshine?
I think because I'm mid dance, can I like? It probably weighs more than us. Like I couldn't like drop kick it mid fall.
You could certainly try.
I would love to try.
All right, we're gonna first see how the folks who rush in to save Santa go, because if stuff drops on Santa, you know, that's a whole other thing. But if you can get Santa out of the way before stuff drops even, that's a huge thing. So, Char, you rush. We're going to see if you can be fast, because obviously Chip can teleport. So it's a little bit easier for Chip. But for you, athletics, or I would maybe allow luck. Yeah.
Just happen to be making it there.
You just happen to be like singing near the stage, maybe because you were rallying everybody, you know, perhaps. We'll see how your roll goes. But I feel like this is going to be a very difficult thing to save Santa, primarily because you're all distracted. You're all singing. You might not be 100% paying attention to what's happening. So I'm going to say that this is a 10. This is a very difficult roll.
Okay. I think I want to spend candy canes to give myself an added
reminder that if you spend candy canes, you won't get candy canes for rolling above the number.
Yeah, but I would get candy canes for saving Santa.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do
distinction.
it. So that's 1d6 that I roll first, right? To see how much I have to spend.
Yes.
2.
All right, 2. Not a bad spending.
I'll take it, yeah. All right, here we go. 16.
16. All right. 6 over a 10. You're good. I think that that's fast enough. You run over to get to where Santa is. And this is the reason why that was so high is because Chip is teleporting. That's why that DC was so high. Chip is a badass with this. Chip, you teleport immediately to Santa, and you're up next to him. Oddly, Holly's like right there, and the two of you are right next to Santa. What do you do as you try to like move Santa out of the way?
I'll try to pull him in the direction I'm in, and if he falls, he can just land on my soft little elf body.
I'll be explaining, the garland is falling, look out, Santa! To try and give context to let him make him easier to move. Yeah.
All right. Chip, I feel like that's athletics, and for you, Holly, that feels like affection.
Okay. I'm not very affectionate. Good. Okay, good.
Let me give you the DN too.
Oh, sorry.
But you both definitely hit it. It was going to be a 10. He's very distracted by the singing and all of this stuff. But you're good. You move Santa out of the way. Santa listens to Holly. It's like, oh my. And then kind of moves forward and leans on Chip as Chip kind of breaks Santa's fall as Santa comes heading on that direction. Actually, I don't even think he falls. I think you move him quickly out of the way, like with your strength, that now you are in front of Santa and like this big thing is falling down. Now, the other folks, I think that Dazzle, you were just shouting, right?
Yep, basically.
Yeah. So I feel like that's going to be like an affection or a luck roll on your end, and this is going to be a DC 10 for you.
I will do affection. I'm like, I can't push a Santa with my athletics, but I can definitely
Get his attention,
yell at him. Don't wait.
All right, take 2 stress as
Ugh.
you are too far away to be heard over the singing and chorus of these elves beatboxing and dancing and making a ruckus.
I time it perfectly
and the
wrong,
only-
so it just blends in with the singing.
But it's
Nobody
okay
notices.
because your friends Holly and Chip are right up there and able to move Santa out of the way. Meanwhile, Sunshine, you're going to grab the garland.
I
This is
wanted
an
to try,
Athletics or
Okay.
luck, I would maybe allow.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind. I haven't rolled that yet. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1. Yeah, what the heck? We'll do 1 candy cane. So let me see what I can add to it.
3. Spend your 3.
So that goes +3 under my luck now. For this.
No,
roll
you
only?
get +1 to your luck, and you're -3 of candy canes.
That's what I misunderstood. Okay, thank you. So that
And then
becomes-
you got to make sure you put your luck back down after this roll.
Okay.
15
Luck
with
back
the
down?
yes, with 10
Awesome.
difficulty, and you get 1d6. Oh no, because you spent 1.
No, because
Make sure your luck goes back down.
done. Thank you.
All right, and with that, what does it look like as you go to grab this garland as it's falling down from the rafters?
It's dramatic and a little bit. It's not as graceful as they really wanted. It's like a because they were dancing entirely out of sync. She does like this spinning kick that like twists her body, and she's able to grab the garland and like while flipping with the garland, lands on the ground, and the thing kind of goes skittering like a hockey puck.
Yeah, it goes skittering down, and you realize that there are little spikes on this plant. Like it looks like somebody has made this into possibly something that might really hurt somebody if it fell down.
Sabotage! Oops, and then I threw it away. I will shout that though. I don't know. I mean, we're still singing, so if anybody hears it,
I think everyone stopped singing now, and everyone's like, and like there's a creepy silence that's happening in the hall as all of you are there. And I don't know if Holly or Chip, you want to say anything as you're kind of you pushing, like you're having Santa kind of protecting them from this whatever just fell down as Princess Sunshine just like shoved it off to the side, and Santa has been saved. Each of you can roll 46, minimum 12, except for Dazzle.
Oh,
Sorry, Dazzle.
15.
14.
All right. Add those to your candy canes. And I'll leave you all for the scene.
What? Why was it sabotage, Princess?
there were spikes! Spikes on the garland, I tell you! Spikes intended for Santa!
This is not a merry day. Oh my goodness.
How did I not notice those when I was hanging up our garland?
Yeah, Chip, how did you not notice them?
Guess I was just too busy trying not to fall.
Yeah, it was a busy time.
It's fine. He's safe.
Santa, do you have any enemies? I can't imagine Santa having any enemies.
We have to launch an
I
investigation.
hope not. I only try to bring joy to all the boys and girls in all the lands.
What about Jack Frost?
Well, Jack Frost isn't my enemy.
I think.
What about the missing elf?
What if it's the Northern
What
Coalition?
missing elf?
What if they're back?
Oh, the Coalition. I wouldn't worry about them. They are just naughty elves that need to learn how to be good elves. They'll be back, as they always do.
Naughty like murder with a garland full of spikes?
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no! We need to do
Uh,
something, Santa. We have to protect you.
A couple nutcrackers soldiers come running up the stairs a little later than all of you. You were
Oh my
much
gosh.
quicker than them,
Mhm.
oddly, as they all are marching in uniform. One of them picks up the garland because you had mentioned that there's something odd about it and carries it off. And two other soldiers, or like little nutcracker soldiers, these metallic ones, come over side by side of Santa and say, they kind of pull Santa away to kind of take him to safety.
I'll reluctantly release his leg that I'm nuzzling against because he's so soft.
Aw.
Oh yeah, it's very soft. It's like this really soft velvet and cashmere mix. Oh. And the fluffiness of the fur is like the softest cat you've ever pet.
This one's sleep.
I reach behind my ear and pull out a sugar cookie and start nervously eating.
This is a crisis. We have to band together. This is entirely for altruistic purposes and not for my own financial gain. We have to help Santa.
I bet it is the
I
Northern
agree.
Coalition. Santa wants to see the best in people, but they're evil. They want to kill him.
I don't know
How do you
much
know about them?
yeah, what's up with that, Dazzle?
They've attacked before on previous Christmases. I think.
I must have slept through those.
Yeah, the Nutcracker soldiers are good at covering this stuff up, but I've been there. I've seen the things they've done.
When you say this, Dazzle, there's an elf that kind of comes out of the crowd. A bunch of elves are getting like ushered out of the hall, but one of them kind of pushes their way through towards you and says,
Yeah, there was something weird going on yesterday in the toy shop.
What
Should
happened in the toy
investigate.
shop?
Well, a couple elves came in from the coalition. One of them was shouting something about, what was it? Like bunny and some kind of something, and
What?
then one of them sat on Santa's lap and was talking to him and telling him things. It was very confusing. And then the Mrs. Claus came in. She like told everybody to calm down, and then nothing happened. But I still remember all of it. I feel like everybody else just went back to work, but I heard them.
That is weird.
Thank you, quietest elf.
Bunnies, I know about bunnies. They're called eater bunnies or something.
What?
They come from this weird land where they have carrots instead of candy canes. Have you heard that? Do you know if that's true?
Ew.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the candy canes.
This is the second time now that I've heard something bad about Mrs. Claus. I'm
Well-
reevaluating my whole life.
I never
Why
heard anything
bunnies
bad
when I
about
heard
Mrs. Claus
anyone?
before, but it was just like a weird situation. I don't know what happened, but everyone else seemed to like forget what was going on, and I didn't.
We should go to the toy workshop and investigate.
Agreed.
I don't think there's anything else there. The toy soldiers took the one person away back to the coalition, and the other one, well, there was two of them, and they ran away.
Oh.
So they might still be at large.
What did I...
To investigate somebody? I want to interrogate.
Well, I didn't want to leave my station, so I don't know where they went.
What did they look like?
Did they say anything? Like their plans?
Trying to remember what they look like, but I might remember their names. I think one was
Come on,
Mikey
quiet
Mistletoe.
yourself.
That's what it was. I think it was Mikey Mistletoe and Amethyst. Yeah, it was those two. I remember because Amethyst always wears that purple outfit thing.
Amethyst and mistletoe.
Okay. I'll just shout it out. Has anyone seen Mikey Mistletoe or Amethyst?
Or mince pies.
Yeah, we're still looking for that one too.
Mince pie's long gone. I don't think they're gonna be
You
involved.
can't give up hope, Dazzle.
It's been like 5 years.
Hope keeps Christmas alive.
Doesn't keep mince pie alive.
Hi.
Oh my gosh! And I shoved Dazzle playfully off to the side.
Holly, as you shout to see if anyone knows these or has seen them, I would allow either an affection or a luck roll.
All right, here we go.
And I hope, did I fix the sound? Because I don't know why that elf voice was so quiet compared to everybody else.
High
But did it
pitched
get
voice too.
louder?
They tend to. It doesn't
I
pick up as
heard it,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I meant, did it get louder? Because I fixed it.
Oh, I couldn't tell. Maybe Dozerpin in chat could let us know.
Okay.
I like that it's canon that elf is just very, very quiet, soft spoken, and is really good at remembering names.
They're like whispering, trying
Yeah.
to not let anyone hear what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
was a bit
forgot to let you set the difficulty, so don't look at what I rolled.
Okay. I think this is going to be 8 as you're like shouting it out.
Okay.
9.
So
Okay,
I got a
perfect.
9, yeah.
You shout and you're shouting to everybody else. Were you using luck, right?
Yeah.
I think that one of the other elves that is friends with this one kind of comes over and is like, "What are you doing? We gotta go." "Oh, you're looking for them? Well,
Huh.
don't tell anybody. I wasn't at my station. I saw them run into the stable.
Oh,
The stable.
The stable.
We should go to the stable.
are amazing. You will
They
get
had
all
some
the
kind
candy
of
canes
weird
on
chocolate
Christmas.
coin in their hand.
A chocolate coin.
Hmm.
And the other elf that was talking to you before, she kind of thinks for a moment, and you see her like really thinking, like a little thinky face, little cute elf thinky face, and says,
Wait a minute. I remember when Amethyst, she was sitting on Santa's lap. She was really comfortable there. It was a little creepy, but I saw her put her hand in his pouch and she took something out. Maybe that's what it was. She stole something from Santa.
The audacity! We have to stop them.
Hmm.
Let's go to the stable and investigate. Maybe we can find out where they're hiding. Or what they're
Yeah,
up
and then I
against.
could practice for next year. Because he said I could work in the stables next year.
Yeah, they always need more help.
Oh,
You could
right.
maybe get a drop on them with your expert teleportation abilities.
Yeah, maybe.
You
And
have
we'll
a lot
catch
of good
up.
skills, Chip, that are not being properly utilized. We should take advantage. We should use those skills.
Thanks. What are you good at?
Everything.
I don't think that's
Oh.
true.
What?
Shame.
To the stables.
You're really good. You're very charming, though, I think.
Oh, charming is what you call this? Oh, that's so sweet.
That's why you always want other people to do your job for you.
Not because I'm a princess, just because my name is Princess.
Skip off to the stables.
as you all skip off to the stables, Holly and Sunshine, you start skipping, but then your tummy starts hurting.
Oh.
You don't feel so good.
Oh, my
Oh,
tummy.
no.
Oh, I shouldn't have eaten 2 cookies.
I only ate 1 cookie and I don't feel good.
Ugh. I think this is my greed. No, just cookies. No consequences.
Don't blame the cookies. Mrs. Claus made those.
You're
Ugh.
feeling really tired.
I'm
And the two of you are
sleepy.
going to take a -1 to your athletics.
Oh,
I have a 0.
Oh.
That means you can never succeed on an athletics check.
Oh.
Wow.
wow.
Make a note in your notes what your true athletics is.
Okay.
Okay.
But you just have a -1 until you are cured of whatever is happening.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to take our break. I think it's a perfect moment before we head into the stable to see what happened. As they're going to investigate maybe what went down yesterday with Amethyst and Mikey Mistletoe and the weird elf that got put back into the coalition mines. We'll see you in just a moment. So thank you all so much. We're going to take like a little 8 to 10 minute break, go potty, refill our hot cocos, hopefully everyone has theirs. I brought a little festive mug, and we will, little reindeers too. See? And we will see you in a moment.
All right.
Welcome back to Santa RPG.
Hello.
Woohoo!
We are back. And our elves have made some hot cocoa, some successfully, some not so successfully. They've created some ornaments. One is now on the big tree in the middle of town, and the others are on the tree in the hall, and one did not quite make the cut. But all of our elves working together tried their very best to help save Santa as something started falling. One of the garlands that were up in the decoration area of the stage started falling on Santa, but they were quickly able to go move in and save him as Santa got rushed off by the Nutcracker soldiers, who were a little too slow in comparison to our lovely elves here. But as this happened, and in the ruckus of all the elves being escorted out of the hall and being sent off to their proper stations, the four of you discovered that there's an elf who heard some suspicious things going on the day before, and now you are thinking, we need to investigate this situation, as the four of you head to the stables to see what's going on. If maybe you can find a glimpse of what happened to Mikey Mistletoe and Amethyst, as Holly was able to find an elf who, just luckily through shouting, heard and was friends with another elf who was trying to pull that elf out of to head off to their new station. Happened to know where and what direction they went, which also sparked a memory in the other elf that something was being pulled out of Santa's little pouch, some kind of gold coin. And the four of you head on over, trudging through the snow that is very thick now, almost coming up to your waists. Some of you maybe have some snowshoes, so you can, snowshoe. What do you call that? It's like cross-country skiing across towards the stable. And again, we see the stable. It's this huge stable that has all of the reindeer in it. Some of the reindeer are in their slots. Some of them are running around in the open field area that's fenced off. And then there is a little office where, I think it's Charlie Chocolate Jump. I'll double check on his name. But where Frosty Chocolate Jump, wrong name. Frosty Chocolate Jump, where his office is. And there's also a new area that Dazzle discovered last year that has the flying reindeer in it. On top of the stable itself, there's this big statue. Or flying kangaroo, yeah. There's this flying statue.
Flying reindeer are normally in the stable.
Yeah, flying reindeer. I'm talking about the flying kangaroos. Good point. On top of the stable, there's also a big sleigh with one reindeer, and it says the Bauble sleighing with the year on it.
As we get close, Dazzle will say that the coalition, they've been up to all kinds of tricks. One year they tried kidnapping Santa, and then one year they bombed the stables and they killed a bunch of reindeer. That's why they made this memorial.
Oh yeah, history. I totally knew that.
And recently they've started working with these eater bunnies, and they've been making attacks.
Eater bunnies. They sound like they're just gonna eat all our sugar cookies.
They do. I think they eat
They
chocolate
just wanna
or
make
carrots
toys.
or both.
Holly, if you would like, you can spend one stress for lie detector, as there's something about what Dazzle's telling you that is not truthful, but everything else does sound like he's mixing some truth in with some maybe not so truths in there.
Ooh. Okay, sure. I'm getting low on my stress, though. You better watch out, everybody. Yeah, I'll spend a spirit as I laser in on you, Dazzle.
Yeah, for those of you back home who are curious, everyone has a stress explosion, and when they hit 0 stress, that thing happens. And Holly's is pretty destructive. We'll just put it that way.
What aren't you telling me, Dazzle?
So how truthful do I have to be?
As truthful as you want to be, but Holly will know whether you're telling the truth or not, is more so the case.
Please don't lie to Holly, Dazzle. If bad things happen, I know.
I can't control it.
It's not important now. It's in the past.
What is the lie? You have to admit, what's the lie? Don't tell me the truth, just what's the lie?
Oh god, okay, the lie is that the coalition weren't responsible for the reindeer incident.
That's a giant lie.
I don't know what it could be, but I think it's best if you just share the information you know. Obviously, you were right about the cookies. And now I don't feel good, and Chip is gonna have to carry me if we go anywhere.
We got tummy ache. Oh,
I could do that.
It hurts.
I am not carrying Sunshine, though.
What? Why?
I can't carry you both.
Well, carry me first then.
I can drag you.
No.
I don't want to be dragged.
Okay. The problem, the topic at hand, though. I mean, using my tools of logical deduction, if the coalition didn't bomb the reindeer stables, the only other faction, this is like a game of Risk, is us. And like Santa.
I mean,
Santa
Dazzle's the one that's not telling us, so maybe it was Dazzle.
Well, that sentence felt treasonous. Yeah, you're gonna make me say wrong things, Dazzle.
We're getting distracted from the important thing. The coalition are doing suspicious things in the stables, and they've done that before. So we should investigate and find out what's going on with the coins and things.
I don't know. Suspicion doesn't quite equate the death of
There's
reindeers, though.
There's something about the stable hand. I don't think we can trust him. There's something going on. I think we should check his office.
Okay. Chip and I are just like, okay.
That was so perfectly timed.
Let's
go. That's so cute.
Okay.
As they all go up to the office, you actually hear somebody kind of opening the door to the office. You guys hide, like maybe behind one of the stalls or something like that, or are you going with purpose to Chocolate Jump's office?
I can't be the face of the operation, so whoever's got high charisma / affection, if you want to take charge, I'm all for it.
So there's options, right? Like you can go with purpose to talk to them, or you can hide, right, and not and like sneak past them.
Should we try
I'll
stealthing?
talk to him.
Or
You want to try to stealth it?
I'm not stealthing anything. I have 0 cunning.
Chip is not stealthing.
Okay,
Chip is going to
talk our way through.
distract or talk. Okay,
I
you could
mean,
split. Some of you could sneak, and some of you could kind of distract.
Okay, I'll go with Dazzle. I'll stealth too. I'm good at that.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you,
All right, Chip.
Sunshine?
It's Chip and I.
Okay.
I mean, what's their name again? The head of this place?
That is. Let me double check because I keep wanting to
We're
call
gonna
him
get a couple
Charlie,
of
but he's not
names.
Charlie.
It's Frosty.
His last name is Chocolate Jump. Yeah, Frosty Chocolate Jump.
Okay. I think I'm kind of ambitious, or no, that's not the word. I'm kind of envious of Frosty. So I mean, I could ask them, all about their life and their career and how they got here and every step of the way, and any tools or resources that they could also lend me. Yep, come on, Chip. And I'll start dragging you.
Okie dokie.
All right. As Chip and Sunshine head over, you can hear somebody opening a door over where Frosty Chocolate Jump's thing is. Thank you for the raid, you guys. We appreciate it. All the raids. Welcome. We are playing our Santa RPG, which is based on Made RPG, and it is basically like an anime happened in the North Pole. It is our annual North Pole anime, and just it's a little bit chaotic. So the two of you are going over there, and you can hear someone opening Chocolate Jump's door. And meanwhile, we have Dazzle and Holly trying to hide. We're going to see how well you stealth first, which is definitely going to be cunning.
All right. What's the
target?
difficulty?
The target is going to be, let me check our dear reindeer ranchers, like how well they'd be able to. Yeah, they're perception-ish. All right. I don't think that they are super perceptive. So I think that this difficulty in my mind is going to be, but you know what? We'll say an 8. This is going to be difficult for an amateur, but easy for a pro. The second level of difficulty.
Oh, I got 20.
Sure.
I got 4.
No!
Roll a 2d6 char for your candy canes. Meanwhile, Dazzle,
7.
you are going to take 4 stress. Although I know, Dazzle, you have a lot of stress. Are
That'll
you
be
getting
fine.
low?
No.
Okay. Okay. I was like, I think that the closest one to stressing out was probably be Holly.
Which is a very scary
So-
prospect.
Yes, which is a very, very scary
I realize
prospect.
I've separated myself from the rest of the group, and I'm with the elf that's on a hair trigger.
Just make sure I don't fail at anything. That's all.
Yeah, just, but you're doing stuff you're good at so far, clearly.
Mhm.
Getting 7 extra candy cane there, which is good. The two of you are sneaking, and Holly, as you're sneaking, you how are you? What does this look like? And you also see that clearly Dazzle is not. Dazzle is not sneaking. But you have rolled high enough where you can assist him in getting sneaky. So what does it look like that you're doing, and what is it that you do to help Dazzle? As Dazzle is not being stealthy at all.
I think it's very like comical cartoon how like as soon as like someone or something is looking in our direction, I just like find the perfect pose behind like a reindeer body or the door. I just flatten myself against it, etc. And I think to assist Dazzle, maybe he's like being too noisy or something with his little elf feet.
Yeah, Dazzle's being really clumsy. He's like he's all left feet. Even his hands are left feet. It's a disaster. He's falling over. He's bumping into things.
So I'll guide you every so often and like launch you into another hiding spot right in the nick of time.
Yeah, and we see like the anime sweat on Dazzle's head, as it's like beep, 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 beep. And Holly just like perfectly positioned, like in weird positions, but like somehow fitting behind a reindeer or whatever it might be. And Sunshine and Chip, you hear a little sound of your friends, but then quickly nothing. And you can't see them. You're like, all right. But you hear footsteps coming your way, and it looks like it is Frosty heading your direction.
Oh, perfect. We have to catch them inside the excuse me. Hi. Yes, hello. Greetings. Merry well be festive day of Holly. Yeah. Hi.
Well, what are you two doing here, Sunshine and Chip?
Well,
You're not on stable duty today.
no, not at all. And well, you see here, Chip has really just been thinking about a career in stables. And there's a lot of logistics that is involved. Can we go to your office and talk no, you know what, actually, can we stay right here in this hallway and talk about this?
Santa said I'm gonna work here next year.
Oh, well,
I
if Santa
told him
said
I
that.
could brush the reindeer.
Well,
What's this?
brushing reindeers is a fine skill to have.
What does it mean, though? What does it really mean to brush?
Have you ever brushed a reindeer before, or a horse, or a mule, or
No,
anything?
no,
I've thought about it a lot.
no.
Well, it takes a little bit more than just thinking. You gotta do the thing and think about it at the same time.
Oh, that sounds complicated.
Mhm.
Doing and thinking at the same time.
It's okay,
Is it
Chip.
cle- is it a
Santa said you
clean?
could do it.
Well, there is a
Yes.
cleaning part to it. So, we
we soap them down and get them all, cleaned, and then we do the brushing, which sometimes, especially when they roll around in those spiky things, they get them on them and gets matted, and it's a whole situation. A few of them don't
Yeah.
like being Comet, especially does not like getting brushed, and Prancer just moves so much.
Uh-huh.
You gotta try to coerce him to stay still.
Prancing, right? Yes.
What
Yeah.
kind of spiky things?
Well, they're like, actually, I think I have a whole bucket of them.
And he kind of walks over to a spot that's really close to where Holly is, but Holly's so stealthy that Chocolate Jump doesn't see her at all, and kind of pulls the bucket up and pulls one of the little things out. I don't know what they're called. Maggie doesn't know what they're called, but they are those little
Burrs?
black balls with the little,
Burrs?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
those
don't know if
things
that's
with
the
little
real
spikes on
word for
them.
them or that's like a colloquial term, but
There's probably a real term for them.
Gumballs?
Ew.
But you see
Burrs.
it, and it's they're pokey.
yeah.
He like
Get
lets
stuck
you
in your
all.
dog's
Are-
hair.
hold
are
one.
they like what tried to attack Santa?
Ooh, you take a look at it and you try to see if it's what attacked Santa. First, I want a roll from you guys to. I think you're affectionately trying to distract, and
Yeah.
then on the checking to see if this is what is similar. I would say that is either a luck or a will. And
Hope I didn't tell you for you to do the check.
Oh,
yeah,
so let me
what's
see.
our-
I think for distracting him, it's going to be pretty easy. I think a 6 will be for distraction, but to figure out if this is the similar thing, that's going to be a 10.
Okay. So like I'm trash at distraction.
Dang.
We do really have to figure that out.
So,
Um,
Sunshine take 4 stress,
oh my word. Oh,
and then
that puts me
for
down.
the other
okay.
one, Chip take 4 stress.
Oh boy.
Chip,
Getting
you're looking at
low.
this, and you're not sure if it's the same as the spiky bits. You also didn't get a good look at the garland before the Nutcracker soldier took it, so that's probably why you're not 100% certain if it's the same thing. But
A 10?
Sunshine looks at it, and Sunshine, it does look like very similar to the spikes that you saw that were inside, like kind of meshed up and tucked into the garland.
Okay. Oh. Huh.
But I
These-
think Frosty is kind of getting that you're maybe here for other reasons. Not so much from Chip. It seems like Chip is actually really interested in brushing reindeer, but you
Mhm.
you seem like you're here for different reasons, especially as you're starting to look deeper at these little burrs.
These are. I'm gonna pockets. Well, by pocket I mean I'm just gonna stick some on my clothing.
Okay. Are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yeah. Like I'll put it under my armpit.
I
Ow.
think that's going to be a 7 difficulty for you to try to hide one of these.
Okay,
And that's
well,
a cunning or maybe a luck.
if we can make it luck, I'd be into that.
A luck that you stick it in a spot that he doesn't notice. But,
Yeah, like
a cunning would be
behind
like
the
you
knee.
you stealthily put it somewhere, right?
okay. No, we're. Just
I think
gonna,
luck would be more like as you're putting it back in, maybe one sticks to your clothes or something like that. Yeah.
I'm down for that. Nope.
One stress. You don't get one
Oh.
of the burrs, but you do try to like. Or you put it in, and maybe you were hoping that one might stick to you because you shove your hand in there, but instead
It
you just get
falls right
pricked
off.
and it hurts.
You
And
think
he
maybe I could have a
he
look
plucks
around?
it off for you, and he looks at you a little strangely and slides the bucket back over really close to Holly.
Oh.
Holly, he seems distracted enough for you and Dazzle to make your way into the office. The two of you, we see, the anime when people are sneaking and they're like tippy-toeing. Yeah. They
Yes.
sneak their way over to the door. It is locked. You feel like you could probably open this with cunning, maybe luck, maybe will. If there's something else you think that would make sense, I will be all ears.
Could try the will approach.
Ooh.
What
Are you
would
working together to do this, or
what would the will approach to opening the door be?
that would be like intelligence, basically, like
Okay.
you know how to unlock it type of thing.
Yeah.
Luck would be you happen to find a spare key, right? And cunning would be like you pull out your thievery tools and open it, like you know how to unlock it, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think I can help you, Dazzle, with the will. So let's let you go. You try your way, and then if it doesn't
Okay.
work, I'll try mine.
Sounds good. All right, what's my target?
All right, this is going to be difficult. Let me see the difficulty table. I feel like this is something only a pro can pull off. A 10.
Okay. Gonna give it a go. I'm just gonna roll it.
No candy cane, just pure rolling it.
Just pure dice.
luck.
All the way.
pure dice.
Balls.
Oh!
Oh no. Take 6 stress.
Ooh.
Oh, Dazzle.
The consolation
you-
is that if I'd boosted it with candy canes, it wouldn't have been enough because I rolled a 1.
As you kind of take whatever it is that you have on you and you try to shove it into this keyhole and you try to listen. You're trying to like intelligently like hear the knocks on it. It snaps and now it's stuck in the keyhole.
I feel like
no.
Dazzle's like, I can do this, and then like, sticks something in the lock and is messing around, and then it snaps and is like, I don't know how to pick a lock.
Okay. Well, I'll try, but I think it's gonna be harder now. And I'm gonna pull out some like sharpened candy cane like set that I have to try and cunningly unlock the door, which is now also jammed with something
I love
else.
that you have a candy cane like door unlocking set.
Sharpened candy canes.
It's perfect. This is going to be an 11. The difficulty has gone up by 1 because now there's something stuck in there. And you might even have to like candy cane tweezer it out first, like dissect this lock to then shove this other thing in.
Okay, I have to get a 3 to make it. Let's see. I got a 3,
Yes.
so 12 total.
1 over. Describe
Wow.
to us what it looks like as you use this set of tools.
I think I gently slide in this sharpened candy cane, and like with a flick of the wrist, I'm able to pop out what was jammed inside, and then continue deftly my work as I quickly unlatch the door.
You hear the
That wasn't so bad.
click as Holly easily is able to unlock the door, and you turn the knob quietly.
And I raise my hand for a high five with Dazzle.
I high five and
high
I
five.
half miss. It's kind of an awkward. It's like a half hand.
It
sort
feels
of
like he
collision.
really does maybe have a left foot for an arm. It's very weird.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Well, I'll get it next time.
2 of you
Yeah.
sneak further in the room. Do you close the door behind you or you leave it a little ajar?
Will that lock it again?
It won't lock it again
Okay, we'll close it.
unless you lock it.
I think
from-
we'll close it, yeah, because to make it seem like nothing's changed.
close the door. Outside, sunshine. There was a moment where there was a sound of a snap of some sort, but your distraction of being suspicious has caught our dear reindeer rancher's eyes. And they're a little distracted, so they didn't quite hear it, especially with the roll that Char did there. And Chip, you are really interested in brushing these reindeer, and so he slides that thing over, making sure that none of you have any of the spurs. He puts like a lid on top of it, and then shoves it underneath another spot in the stable, and kind of motions you both to come over, and is like,
Well, I can show you how to do it, but I could actually kind of use some help. So, I need to do some scooping of poop first, but
I'm allergic to poop.
everybody poops.
I'm allergic to reindeer poop.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes a little more sense.
I'm not allergic, but I don't like it. That's why I brought my gloves and my mask and my hand sanitizer.
Well prepared. Just to warn you, working in the stable, you're always going to come back smelling a little reindeer-y.
I don't like being dirty.
Well, sorry to break it to you. You might have to get a little dirty.
I'll get a plastic suit.
Like one of those bubbles?
Yeah, like a hazmat suit.
Oh, a hazmat suit. Haven't seen one of
Gotta
those.
stay clean.
But I have seen a big bubble before. There's a couple
Bubbles
people
are fine.
run around in those. They're kind of a little, I feel like claustrophobic. Have you ever been in one before?
No, I don't mind being in closed spaces. I just don't want poop on me.
Why are you really here then, Sunshine? You're allergic to reindeer poop. I don't really think you want to brush the reindeer. So what do you want?
You found me out. You found out my truth. I'm really just trying to live a life where I could just be a regular elf. And I thought that if I, debased myself by hanging out in the proximity of reindeer poop, that maybe I would learn a valuable life lesson.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. You can clean it up then, and then I can just take notes.
Wait, you're not an elf? You look like an elf.
What?
You smell like an elf.
I am Princess Sunshine, and I am allergic to reindeer poop.
Oh, well,
Let me put my crown on properly. There we go.
Your Highness.
It was me all along.
Chocolate Jump kind of does a little bow, but he's really not very good at the bow.
Now I demand that I cannot clean that. And Chip shall, while you continue to talk to me outside of your office for, I don't know.
You're not my princess.
What?
What are you the princess of exactly?
Yeti Cave?
Oh.
Just a cave. There used to be Yetis in there, but they moved.
Yes, Your Majesty, that I will get right to it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have you ever been to the cave?
No, I don't leave the workshop much. I don't even know how I became an elf. I just woke up here one day like this.
Oh, there's a few people who've had that feeling. Like they don't know how they got here. But, sure. I will talk to you, Princess, and we will clean the poop. Here you go, Chip.
He hands you like it looks like a rake type of thing, and then like another piece it looks almost like a bucket with this with a stick stuck to it, but it has like a little slidey bit where it can like scoop, and so you have to like scoop and pull situation. And he shows you how to do it a little bit, and then it's gonna be on you to roll a skill to see how well you you scoop the reindeer poop, and Sunshine, you do not have to roll for this because you're using your princess factor here.
Thank you.
Yes, to distract and continue to talk to Frosty Chocolate Jump. This is going to be difficulty. It's not going to be that difficult. 6.
Okay. +1 bonus to a roll.
You're going to spend some candy cane?
Thinking about it. Raise an attribute. Oh, I can just spend a raise an attribute straight up.
Yeah. You have to have enough to do so. So if you wanted to get to 2 skill, you'd need 20 candy canes to spend.
Ooh, it's too many.
You got the candy canes.
You do have the
Yeah.
candy canes. He's like, but I want to ride on Santa's sleigh
Right there, you're in a
Dude.
close second place.
with your ex-girlfriend. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no, take 5 stress.
You
I'm
gambled.
down to 4.
Oh.
You're down to 4? Oh
I
my gosh, I love it.
don't
You
like
go.
it.
What does it look like as you're scooping this poop? I'll let you
I'm just
describe
like,
this.
oh, this is so gross. I don't want to touch it or be near this. I just want to be clean. Oh, I just slipped in some. No. So gross.
Ooh. If you slipped in some, actually remove that stress.
Oh.
Instead, part of your uniform is
Oh
gonna get
no.
ruined. I think it's your stockings. They just get tons of poop on them. And now you have a -1 to all your rolls. Make a note in your character sheet, maybe in the notes at the bottom, and then put all your attributes down past 1. And that does put you to -1 cunning.
Wow.
All right. Sunshine. It's not going well. The poop scooping is a horrendous thing that's happening. You and Chocolate Jumper
Frosty.
watching as Chip, in a flurry, kind of falls into the poop, and a whole bunch of it just skids across his stockings, and it smells awful.
Oh. Well, this has been really nice. Thank you.
Oh,
Ew,
yeah.
ew, ew.
I think you should clean up.
Go.
Yes.
Thank you. Dazzle and Holly,
I hope y'all had enough time.
while you're inside, what are you doing?
All right. Let's look for clues.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything weird. And then Dazzle is going to look for coins specifically without telling Ollie.
Smart.
All right.
Dazzle wants those coins.
So, Dazzle, you are looking specifically for coins, whereas Holly, you're just looking for something out of place, something
Mhm.
odd.
Mhm.
I think for Holly, your roll is going to be an 8, and for Dazzle, it will be a 10 difficulty.
What's
And this is, sorry, a skill?
This is going to be, I would allow a few options here. Skill is not going to apply necessarily because that's like your
More
elfly
elf?
skills.
Okay.
It would be either cunning, luck, or will.
I would like
Will
to
is
roll will.
you smartly kind of know places where people would hide things. Luck would be like you accidentally come upon it. Cunning would be you like unlock a secret drawer or something of that sort, you know.
All right. I'll do cunning.
I'll do will.
All right.
16.
Dang.
I got an 8.
Both hit your markers. Holly right on the dot, and Dazzle.
I got candy canes, right?
You get a candy cane, 1d6 worth of candy canes.
I think I'll just keep using.
That was
Oh,
the
sorry.
minimum. Sorry, go ahead. What'd you say?
I'll keep using my candy cane set, my thieves' tools, if you will, as I rummage in probably the desk.
Yeah, you rummage in the desk and you unlock a drawer. Inside of this drawer, you don't find the chocolate coins, but you do find some interesting parchment. You pull it out. It's like in a little box. And you open it up and you open the box further with your tools. And inside of this, there looks like jobs, like work jobs. What do you call those? Like work forms, that have like names, what they're for, and they have a stamp on them that looks very odd. It has like rusty crackle warmth signature at the bottom, which is someone you don't know who that is. You're like, that's a weird name. And you're like thinking about it, but you've never heard that person's name before. And then you can see that there's a duplicates of these, and those are signed by somebody else. You look at the name. It's Mrs. Claus, Jessica Kringle on there. And it's stamped with her stamp instead, but they look exactly the same. The forms are almost the same, except for the description of what job they're doing is different. One says something in regards to like what they're actually supposed to be doing in the coal mines, and the other one that's signed by Rusty Crackle Warmth is a completely other job. There's also some other parchment in there that has some details about where people, like reasons for travel, and what they're doing there, which is a little strange.
Definitely seems like an HR drawer up in here.
You see a paperwork that says name Felix the Cat Elf, and the address the North Pole Elf Village, CO Santa Claus, and then purpose of visit: deliver special berries from the North Pole to the flying kangaroos in order to get presents to return to the North Pole. This might be something bad, as I am not sure I trust the person who sent us to do this, especially as they did not give us paperwork! Mark. Please send a warning to Santa if you can. So as not to raise suspicion, please act as if nothing is wrong. Thank you, Felix. Heart over the eye, and over the little Felix. And you can tell that this paper probably never made its way to Santa.
There's some shady shenanigans going on in here, Dazzle. Look!
I told you, he's up to something.
What did you find?
Dazzle, you are looking for something very, very specific. And almost like a reindeer, you smell your way to what you're looking for, and you find a chocolate coin. Just one, but it is what you are looking for. You can tell that there's like this little golden piggy bank looking thing, and you kind of shake it because it smells like chocolate in there, and you pull the stopper out from the bottom, and you can see inside. And the pig has like a little Santa outfit and a scarf. It's cute. Inside of it, there is a chocolate coin, but this one has a pumpkin on it.
Pumpkins are the same color as carrots. But that's about it. What do you think this means? I'm going to show it to Ollie. Sounds like the coin that we're describing, but it's got a pumpkin on it.
I don't remember if the person mentioned an image on the coin. Did they tell us anything about like the picture that was on it?
No, but Dazzle, you remember seeing a coin like this before, being placed in the center of that dais that one time. And that one didn't have a pumpkin. It had like a basket with eggs in it.
Did you find any more of these?
I didn't find any chocolates, but I did find someone's keeping secrets from Santa. There's like undergoing shenanigans. Look, and then I'll like show all the different forms I found, and there's Mrs. Claus' name here. There's like copies of the forms, but the jobs are different.
That is suspicious. Did Dazzle ever learn the name Rusty Crackle Warmth? I'm not sure.
He did.
Okay.
I believe he did.
I was like, there's one time where I think I might have seen it.
You might have seen it, yeah, and I think you did. It takes you a moment to remember that, because it was years ago.
It's all connected. They're all working together.
Is
They're
it
all
the
working
coalition?
against Santa. I think it is.
And just as the two of you say that, and as Chip is kind of standing up from falling into this poop, and Sunshine is just trying not to smell any of this awful smell, and decides to part ways. Frosty realizes they need to get going to where they were headed. And you all hear a loud explosion coming from somewhere. You're not sure where at first, but it just sounds like a huge explosion. And you guys all heard that, right? I'm not sure if it came through. Yeah, a huge explosion that happens. And for a moment, it sounds so loud that you're not sure where it came from. But when you take a moment to orient yourself, it's the big tree in the center of town.
Oh no, P.S.'s ornament.
No!
Another explosion goes off.
Sip, there's no time for you to get that your uniform clean. We have to run. We have to go find out what's happening.
I don't know about that.
Sunshine and Chip. As Sunshine, you start running down to the tree. Chip, what do? You two are the closest. Like, you're out in the stable area.
I have a compulsion to go get clean. So,
Oh my gosh.
Chip's
I can teleport.
You can go use
to,
the
like,
hose thing. Yeah.
You can.
I will spend a candy cane for sure.
You can purchase uniform replacements, so that is an option.
Oh.
Yes, I would like to spend a candy cane. However, I may do that to get my pants,
for
my stockings clean.
Your stockings, that's going to be one candy cane.
What a
So
deal!
Spend one candy cane. You teleport yourself to a venue station. There's like this little vendor that's outside of the toy shop, because that's where most stuff gets broken, because people always snag something on something in the toy shop or get their arm stuck in something. So he's kind of like positioned out there, and he's like, Wares for days over here. We've got rainbow colored, transparent, striped, whatever you want. We're looking for. What the heck is that? As he hears an explosion coming down from where the big tree is.
Quick, give me a pair of rainbow stockings and make it snappy. I
You
throw my
pop-
poop ones on the table.
Yeah, you like, they're kind of, they put their hand on their nose. All right. And they take your candy cane and hand over some stockings as you're quickly putting them up.
Jumping
Sunshine's-
into them, tripping, and then I poof
Yeah.
away.
and you're teleporting down by the tree, I'm guessing.
Yeah, back to the where they were all headed.
Sunshine, let's see your athletics roll to see how quickly you can get there, unless there's another way you're getting there.
Smells like gingerbread when I teleport.
Ooh.
Smells good. No, I think athletics will have to be it.
Okay. This is
What's-
going to be pretty hard to get there quickly.
Okay.
So let me look at I think this is going to be a 10.
All right. And if I just know that I'm going to fail, like, I still roll?
Yes, because you've got to see how much stress you get from it.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. I can't
Unfortunately.
handle a whole lot more stress. I only have 7.
Oh, perfect.
Can you buy a level with candy cane?
I can. All right. Bringing my candy canes down to 30 then. So let's roll that d6.
Well, you roll 1d6 to see how many candy canes you spend.
Right. I keep wanting to just get rid of 6. 3.
3, that's less than 6. See, you get to keep some.
So much better.
Yeah, better than just getting rid of 6.
Okay, ready?
And
I'm
you
gonna
have
roll.
a +1 to your athletics,
Only temporarily.
only temporarily.
Because I have a tummy ache, which makes my athletics terrible. Oh my word. A 1 and an 8.
8 stress. And
I-
you're gonna-
I break. I fall asleep.
Ooh, okay. Put your athletics back down to what it was, and
Yep.
also because you had 2 cookies,
Uh-huh.
you're getting another minus as you are stressed out and your stomach hurts and you're feeling really sick. And what do you want to do?
I'm probably gonna throw up in like a little tiny Christmas tree, and then fall
It's some
asleep.
tinsel.
And then I'll fall asleep like a couple feet away from the tree.
I love this idea. You just like vomit all over this tree, and like it freezes on the tree, and then you just pass out under the tree.
And they're out.
Meanwhile, Dazzle and Holly, what are the two of you doing as in the office you hear this explosion?
It started.
What's it?
It's the coalition. They do this all the time. We were too late.
I'll pocket 2 copies of like an identical form that has the different signatures, as well as that note from Rusty, and I'll just like shove it in my belt. I guess we've got all we can from here. We should try and help where the action's happening.
Do you guys try to cover up that you were in here at all? Do you put the stopper back in the little pig? Do you put the pig back in its position? Do you lock the box and put it back in the locked section, or do you just leave things as they are?
I think I can take the risk to relock my drawer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and
So I'll
fix
do
things
that.
up.
Okay, you take a
keeping
little
that
extra
going.
time. You don't have to roll for that, but you take a little extra time to lock everything up. You guys were very successful in what you were doing, so I'm not going to make you roll again for that. You put it all in. It's just going to take you some more time, so you're not going to get there as quick. You finish doing that. Chip, you are oddly the first person at the tree of your friends. No, Sunshine, nowhere to be found, and she was suspicious of you. Your other companions are not here yet either. You're not sure. Maybe they didn't hear anything. But when you get down to the big tree, you teleport. Where do you teleport exactly? Are you teleporting right up on the tree or like
In
nearby?
front of it.
Yeah, you teleport in front of it where that big sign is that has the countdown timer on it. And you can see the countdown timer is getting close to the hours where, Santa's going to pick who he's going to put on his sleigh. But behind it, half the tree is on fire and another section of it's on fire. The bulbs are like all over the place. And Sunshine's bulb is nowhere to be seen. There's a bunch of elves running. There's presents that have just been like fully destroyed. There's wrapping paper everywhere, and there's some elves running. You're seeing the soldiers, but they're not. The Nutcrackers aren't moving that fast. They're like, marching in order, and they're going towards what looks like a hose thing that they're gonna come try to like bring over. Previous years, they didn't have a hose near the tree. They learned from last year that maybe they should have more than just the irrigation system.
They're going slow. I'll try to get over to that hose and get it spraying, put the fire out.
Yeah, you teleport over to the hose, and this is going to be a strength, like athletics, to kind of like twist this thing to get the opening to push the water out.
What's my goal?
Your goal here is going to be a 10.
Yes.
Did you roll a 12? Was that it?
12.
Nice.
Woo!
You spin it. What does it look like as you're doing this? Explain to us what happens.
I'm gonna lift part of the hose that's already untangled and just swing it around my head really fast until it all gets unraveled, and then I'll real quick and grab the top of it, and then look for how to turn it on and brace myself because those hoses can be strong sometimes.
Yeah, you twist the opening apparatus. Are you gonna like ride the hose to like?
Yeah.
Or anime style.
Or I could be like,
mount.
hey, soldiers, help me hold the hose so I can put the tree out. If they're still meandering their way over.
Yeah, they march over. You are like mounted on the hose, ready to like direct it. And they're like holding it up and kind of moving it along, and you're just like hosing this tree down as there's parts of it that are now getting all wet and the fire's slowly going out. But just as you do that, another explosion occurs, and you see it before your eyes. Now you know what's happening. There are these ornaments on the tree. They don't look the same as the others, and they are exploding on top of the tree. Santa, now that you get a better look at it, now that the flames are going down, Santa is laying down on the ground nearby one of the presents. Like he was starting to put stuff into his sleigh, like the big red sack.
Um.
And while you're
Okay.
thinking about what you do, we pan back over to a little Christmas tree that has vomit frozen on it, and little Princess Sunshine is just sleeping very, very pleasantly. Roll me a 1d12. 1d12.
How's the 9?
9. You're still gonna be sleeping this round, but you get
Okay.
9 spirit back.
Ooh,
So
thank you.
you can add
Ooh.
that. And I believe your max is 15, right?
Yes.
Cool, perfect. And then we go back to our companions, Char and Bentham. Holly and Dazzle are quickly covering their tracks. You're at the door. You lock it with that final lock, and it is perfectly like you were never there. What do? You hear another explosion, but you also hear a door sliding open inside of the stable.
What's that? Did you hear that?
I did. Listen, the Coalition, they like distractions. They like to hit multiple things at once. Everyone wants us, they want us to go to that explosion and find out what's going on there, but that means that they could do secret things in other places like here.
Let's look.
Let's
And
go.
I'll follow the new sound.
The new sound, the two of you wandering over.
As we
to the new-
take 2 steps, I turn back to Dazzle and I'm like, "You're not part of the coalition, are you?"
No.
And I
wouldn't
spend a
be
stress
telling you
token.
so much about their tactics.
Just to be sure. I need to know. I'll spend
you
a stress.
Spend a stress token. Bentham, are
Dazzle
you
is not part of the Coalition.
Okay, good. I was so scared. Okay, I'm sorry. I trust you now. And I turn back around.
It's like the next room we go into is like, yes, the explosion is distractions for me to kill you. Ah.
Yeah. I mean, we have had some things like that happen before, so it's fair. You make your way towards the sound. There is a little window that you can peek into where you can see inside of where the the flying kangaroo area is if you want. Or you can just go and slide open the door and surprise whoever's in there.
I'm better at stealthing things, so.
I'm not better at stealthing, but stealthing is safer.
Okay, we'll both try to look in the window and still be quiet.
Sure. All right. I think this is going to be a 9. Primarily because what's going on is a little distracting as well. So it's not a full 10 for
Is
this
it a-
roll.
A cunning?
It's very much a cunning,
Okay.
Okay.
unless there's something else you think you can apply here.
Believe in the heart of the dice.
Oh my gosh.
I
Shar.
crit! 24!
I crit fail! 2!
Oh no. Oh no. Shar, roll me 3d6.
All right.
And I'm taking 8 stress, right?
You're taking,
Oh, no.
8 stress.
I got a 16 for candy
Wait.
canes.
7 stress, because this is a 9.
Oh yeah, it was a 9, yeah. Okay.
16 that's a lot of candy canes.
I almost crit on
Shar.
that too.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh. Oh,
I think you might have the most candy canes anyone's ever had right now.
well, Chip's about to save Santa, so we'll see if he can catch up. You get up there. Dazzle is not sneaking. You rolled so well that you can describe what happens and how you save yourselves from being heard. But Dazzle is definitely a hot mess over there.
Oh gosh. I think it's still the boom 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 of like perfectly hiding in all these spots. And there's like not a cow pie, but a reindeer pie that Dazzle is about to fall in. And I'm like, no! And I throw some of my pocket flour to like harden the area to like quiet Dazzle's walking.
The pocket flower flings out like snow plopping on top of a tree from another branch, and you're able to sneakily make your way up into the window, looking in. And we'll tell you what happens in the window momentarily. The camera pans down past our Sleeping Beauty Sunshine and down into the path where we see the tree slowly catching on fire in another section as Chip finally, through the smoke that's now kind of cleared a little bit, you can see Santa laying there, sprawled on the ground, his red sack inside of the sleigh that's kind of off on the other side that you missed at first because of all the smoke and fire.
As soon as I see Santa, I would drop the hose and let the nutcrackers take that over. And I would blink over to Santa and start trying to slide him away as far as I can from any falling debris, fire, anything.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to use like athletics to pull him away. Yeah. I'm going to say that because there's so much smoke and like there's just an explosion that just got off. Santa's kind of a big dude, and you're a little elf. I think this is going to be 10 difficulty.
Oh, do I just YOLO it, or do I spend a point to boost it? But I could get double candy canes. I'm just going to roll it. No!
Oh, no. Take 4 stress. 4 stress as you try to pull Santa, but I think what happens here is you pull him a little bit and now he's on top of you and now you're a little squished. And there's another explosion that goes off and it is not looking great for you. Back inside. You're peeking your tiny little eyes over the corner of the thing, you know. And you see inside of it Frosty Chocolate Chomp moving. He's like shoveling the hay off of the apparatus in the center. You see him pull out a pouch. Inside of the pouch, there's a coin that he pulls out, and this one has a basket with eggs on it. He unwraps the chocolate wrapping, the little bits of gold wrapping, he shoves into his pocket. And he puts the chocolate in the center. And inside the center, the chocolate melts and goes out all around into the little crevices of this dais. And you see kind of what looks like little bits of magic coming up. And he stands in the center and he looks around really quickly. And then he disappears.
They're using some sort of dark magic.
Dark chocolate magic?
At least 98%.
I knew it. He's working with the Eater Bunnies.
Oh my goodness. At least he put the golden wrapper in his pocket. If we find him, we have evidence.
And he didn't litter. There's
True.
still good in him.
He could be redeemable. Is the apparatus still there?
It
or
is.
Is that gone? Okay.
The chocolate is melted away now, though. But the apparatus is there.
Can we go in and take a closer look at that and whatever he was doing with the hay?
Sure. You go over to the door and you try to pull it. It feels like it's locked from the inside.
And I take out my keys or my candy cane.
Fair. This is going to be a 10.
Okay.
Difficulty. He's definitely tried to make it so no one can come in here while he's gone.
Yeah, I need at least a 3. Am I feeling lucky or should I spend a candy cane?
I don't know if you know, but we would all love it if you could spend some candy canes.
Okay. I think
Char's like, no, I want to be.
I
want to
win. I'm very competitive. I'm gonna try. I think I can hit a 3, so I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Yes!
Nice.
Oh my
20!
Oh
god.
my word!
Roll 2d6 for us for more candy canes.
That's
10.
10 candy canes.
10 candy canes. Describe to us what you do when you unlock this door. And just to give you perspective, on the other side, he's like put a board down in front of it. like,
Oh.
to kind of lock it. Yeah.
Okay, so I start at the keyhole, and I'm working, and I'm like, I don't think this is where he's locked it. And then my X-ray vision, because I am an alien elf, comes through, and I just like examine the door like Terminator style, and I find what's on the other side, and I slide in a thin candy cane to flick it up and let us through.
Yeah. You flick it up and you let yourself through inside, and you make your way, and you can see the dais now. It looks like maybe he was covering it up with that rake. That's what you're gathering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it doesn't take much brains to figure that one out. But now that you get a little closer eye of this apparatus, it looks like maybe there's some kind of heating device in the center that like heats up the chocolate, and then like there's some kind of magic with this dais. Like maybe it's whatever this stone is made out of is magical or something.
And you have a chocolate, Dazzle.
We could use it. We could go to a place that has pumpkins, I guess. I like pumpkins.
It's like teleporting, like Chip's ability. Interesting.
But if we go, I don't know if we can come back. It's the only coin we have.
Yeah. Maybe let's hold on to it for now. But at least we know they went to wherever the ether bunnies are. Right? Because
Maybe we
that
should try
coin
using
had.
it. Maybe we should see where
had
it goes. Who knows what that could be?
But your coin's different than the coin he used.
True. But maybe I can
At
just
least we
test
know
it.
it's
Maybe
here.
I can get back.
Why are you trying to escape?
I want to know what's on the other side.
I don't know, Dazzle. You're getting me all confused.
Are you gonna spend another stress?
Yeah.
To know if he's telling you to go for it.
What are you doing?
Are you lying?
He does want to know what's on the other side.
I feel like you're not lying, but I don't know if there's something else there. You have to let us know because I'm not
I
sure.
think, the thing that you work
you're
out
thinking.
is that Dazzle already knew this was here.
Oh.
And already knew how it worked. And just really wants to use it.
If you want to use it, that's fine. But I'm gonna save Santa.
As you hear another explosion.
I have to know.
And I just stare him down, yeah.
I have to know.
Okay.
Okay,
As
good luck.
Dazzle,
And I'm gonna put the
Has
coin
to
into
know.
the circle.
you unwrap it.
Yeah, I unwrap it and I pocket the wrapper in case that matters.
Yeah, you pocket the wrapper and you put it down, and the chocolate melts around. Holly, do you stick around to watch as Dazzle disappears, or do you run?
I'm gonna start heading to the main action area.
You run. Do you slide the door closed and lock it back up?
No, I don't.
Cool.
I think
You
like
just
as,
leave the
as,
doors
as, the, as the
left
chocolate's
open.
melting, I'm like, remember, don't trust Mrs. Claus.
Okay, I'll lock the door. Bye.
And when he tells me that, I will spend the time to close
You
the
spend
door.
the time to lock the door and close it as you rush out to where the explosions are. Dazzle. The chocolate finally melts. It feels like there's something ominous, an ominous feeling.
I see where it takes me.
You step into the dais and you disappear. We'll find out what happens with Dazzle. Maybe we'll have a Halloween episode of Santa RPG.
Here we go.
Here we go. And on the other side, Princess Sunshine, you finally awaken as you see Holly running past you. Holly,
Frosty Burrs. Oh,
Yeah.
Holly.
Are you okay? You're covered in vomit.
Oh, it's just tinsel. But Frosty and Burrs and Chip fell in a bunch of reindeer poop, and my star, my decoration.
many explosions are happening and Dazzle left us.
Here, why?
Frosty was definitely up to something bad. I don't know exactly what, but I've got all the clues in my pockets. And Dazzle, he found a chocolate coin and he wanted to know where it goes, and he went into this like weird melty arcane thing, and he told me not to trust Mrs. Claus, and I don't know, he seemed to already know what was going on.
Holly and Sunshine.
You can hear someone, a familiar voice, Holly, shouting, as you've heard before, probably. And Chip, we're going to pan back to you as another explosion pops off and right in front of you and Santa, and you are flung back a little bit. You think that you can probably push him up and pull him a little bit more. We'll give you another shot at that.
Okay. God damn it.
Take another 4 stress.
One.
As you try to pull Santa over, and the two of you are crawling, but it's so hard and he's so heavy, and you can't quite get him out from underneath this explosion.
Little help here.
A branch comes flying down, flaming on top of you, and you shout out. Holly and Sunshine, you can hear the voice of Chip shouting, "Help! Help!"
Let's go!
Oh, yes, right away.
What do the
We
two of you
rush
do
over.
when you
We
get
don't got any
down to the
special
bottom?
powers
Even while
for
you're
little
running
legs.
down the hill, you can see that there's a tree, a couple explosions on the tree. It looks like some part of it was on fire before and is no longer. You can see the Nutcracker soldiers hosing down parts of where the fire is at, and you see down below where you can hear the sound of Chip shouting, some kind of pile of red, and the sound of Chip's voice down there. I'm gonna need you to roll some athletics to see how quickly you can aid to like run down there and get to him, unless you have another way to get there quickly.
Have we been cured of our tummy aches? Or have
No.
I, at least, because I woke up after my stress sleep? No? Okay.
No, that is just your way to get your stress back to normal.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
But you can roll another d12 actually to see if you get back to your max.
Oh, okay.
That's just for Princess because she did her
'cause
stress
she slept.
explosion.
Yeah. So you're back to 15.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, for this, it's not going to be a difficult thing to run down to him, especially because you're going downhill. I think this is an athletics 6. It's to run downhill and get to Chip quickly. This is just whether you get to him quickly enough where he doesn't get another action or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I try and make an argument that I grab a piece of whatever debris is nearby and use it as a sled?
Oh, yeah. That would be skill.
All right.
That's like you craft a sled. That's very much a
Could
elfy thing.
then demand that Holly let me on that sled?
I'll just
That's
let
like
you
22.
on for fun.
Wait, I don't have
Okay.
to demand this?
No, we're on a team. We have to save Santa.
All right,
Yeah.
let's. Depending if you don't, here's my caveat to that. If you
Okay.
don't make a sled that is good enough, it won't fit the two of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
can
I
probably
would say that this
help.
is going to be difficult for an amateur but easy for a pro. So an 8 to make a 2-person sled
Okay.
on the fly with your magic.
I have to get a 2 or higher. Oh my god!
Oh
I
my
did it again.
gosh, Char, what is this?
You're not an elf. I mean, we know you're not, but dang.
Ah, it's true.
She's an
Try harder
alien.
to
We already know
pretend.
that. I
My
said
hereditary
said-
roots are helping me.
I said 8, right? Was the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. All right.
So am I rolling 4d6? Or
Oh,
is it still 3?
3. It's 3
Three.
because it rounds down, right?
Okay. 12 more candy canes.
Jeez, Char. All right. Describe to us
98.
what this sled looks like as you just like grab some debris.
I take out these like little hammers that I always keep in my curly hair. I pull
Are
them
they
out.
candy cane hammers?
Yes.
Yes.
And I quickly start pulling things together, wrap it up with a little bow, and it's very spaceship-like this sled. It kind of has like a cone shape at the front, and somehow there's like a electric light on the top that's like sirening, and I'm like, let's go, and I jump into the front seat. Oh my god, I love it.
Okay. You just grab on.
Holding on for dear life.
Your princess is grabbing on for dear life, like, ah! As you guys are sliding down this hill towards Chip, and you will make it there before Chip gets to take an action. You can see Chip is on top, like there's on top of Chip is a Santa, now that you're closer. Santa looks like he's unconscious.
Santa!
No! Oh, also, where's the Chip? Oh, Chip.
I think he's under him. Come on, let's use physics, because I'm certainly not strong enough to pull Santa off.
No, it used to be, but that time of year it really took me out. We can help. We can leverage.
Yeah.
Word. I read it once.
And is there any candy cane ladder here, or
There is not a candy cane ladder.
What
If there
about a
was
plank?
one, it probably got ruined by this explosion that happens.
True.
We just need like a lever almost, and then something to like roll Santa down on. That's on an incline.
Yeah.
Even a tree would hurt.
And you're here as well, Chip, so you can assist in some way. But Santa is on top of you, so you...
Maybe if Chip's right there already, we should just assist Chip, because Chip is stronger.
Yeah.
You got this, Chip. You got it. Let's all push.
Yeah, Chip, I guess you're okay. You can do this, I think.
Another explosion happens. And this time, Holly and Sunshine, and you see what's going on. There's these strange ornaments on the tree. Sunshine, you notice right away that your ornament is gone. Maybe there's like one little piece of like what you, like your little...
A rhinestone.
Rhinestone that you can see nearby. And Chip, they're going to assist you to try to like help push Santa off you. This is going to be pretty difficult. So I would say 8 is the target that you're trying to hit for your athletics here.
Okay.
And B in Char.
Finally.
Ooh.
Can I use my luck instead of athletics here, as I just happen to push in the right area to give Chip the fulcrum point that he needs?
Because we don't
I think
truly
Chip's
notice
got
it.
this. You
Chip
don't have
honestly
to
does
roll.
have this though.
Oh,
Third time's
there
a
we
charm.
go.
Yeah,
All
so-
right.
Time.
Oh!
Woo.
And that is you
Enough
get roll a
cuddling,
1d6.
Santa.
Roll a 1d6 for candy cane. You get 3
Three.
candy cane. All right.
Not
With
enough.
that, you push Santa off of you, and now the 3 of you are free to try to save Santa as another explosion from the tree goes off. This is like the last one that's left on fire. It looks like they're trying to hose down the other ones, but another, it almost looks like the tree's clear, and then another one goes off, and they're trying to hose that down as you guys are trying to pull Santa, or however you're planning to move Santa. But Santa's still laying there unconscious.
You can use the sled. But I'm turning back to the tree. We're getting the feeling that there's going to be more explosions.
Potentially.
I'll use my X-ray vision to scan the ornaments on the tree to pinpoint which ones are the bad ones.
Yeah. As you use your X-ray vision to look at the tree, there are oddly shaped ornaments. They look like eggs. They're in the shape of little oval eggs, and they're decorated in pastel, and they look so different than the others because inside of them there is a little ticking clock inside and some kind of powder that looks chocolatey.
Okay, everybody! And I'm like yelling at the Nutcracker army people.
Holly, if I may. And I would like to use my princess power to actually rally the Nutcrackers. And I can yell and tell everybody what to do really well, hopefully.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, you Nutcrackers, you need to get it together, and you're gonna listen to what I have to say. Holly, where are they?
It's all the egg-shaped ones.
It is all the egg-shaped ones. You must destroy them, but carefully, because how do we disengage? How do we debomb bombs?
Did I get any information about that from my X-ray?
You think that these could be diffused by potentially kind of getting them off the tree and then kind of going in and cutting some wires inside of the eggs.
Okay. You must move them delicately and we'll diffuse them one by one.
Okay, you nutcrackers will take these eggs off the tree carefully and bring them right here, because the best hot chocolate maker, Holly Cookie Crumb, will be defusing these bombs with the assistance of Santa's strongest helper, Chip Flurry.
I'm not touching those eggs. They could explode at any moment.
Just stand there and be tough.
I'm
take so
it.
strong.
I'll do it.
Thanks.
They kind of look at you questioningly, but as you say that you're, Princess Sunshine of the Yeti Cave.
Princess Sunshine of the
they
Yeti Cave.
they all open their little nutcracker openings, and inside they pull out these guns, and they look like freeze ray guns, and they pull them out and they freeze ray each of the eggs, and kind of gravitate them towards where Holly Cookie Crumb is. Chip, what are you doing as we see Princess Sunshine rallying the troops and Holly examining the tree and pointing out all the locations of all the eggs? Santa is
try
still
to wake Santa up.
Yeah. I would say that would be affection probably, or luck, or if you want to slap
They're
him,
both
a good
the same.
athletics.
They're all the same. All three of them. So, I guess I'll go luck.
Okay.
Wake up, Santa! We need
That's
you.
gonna be to wake Santa. I would say an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend some candy canes to buff my luck.
All right. Roll a 1d6.
Tree.
3. Remove 3 candy canes. And give yourself a extra
Are you
luck.
freaking kidding me? Oh, bye. I'm stressed out.
Oh,
You're
no.
stressed out. As you take 4 stress, what is your stress explosion?
I teleport into my room and I won't come out even for food.
Even
Chip.
for food?
It's seclusion.
Chip teleports to the room. What does your room look like, Chip?
What does my room look like?
Describe it to
lots
us.
of action figures. Lots of pants hanging up that dry and that are clean. Everything is very, very tidy and put together. The pillow is wet from tears. Because I'm stressed out now. And yeah, snowflakes as well, hanging in the windows and
Aw. What do you do? Are you just crying?
crying in my pillow and hiding under the covers.
Oh, that's so sad. All right, as Chip's doing that, Holly, Princess, you are distracted. You're getting them to do all these things, and now there are a bunch of frozen eggs in front of you, Holly.
Okay, here we go. And I'm
You
gonna
got this.
Santa's gone, right? Because I don't want to be working on these right next to him.
Chip and Santa are far enough away. It's fine.
Sunshine says that, but Cookie Crumb, if you would like to spend 1 stress, I can let you know that what's really happening
Sure,
there.
I'll spend another stress.
Okay, you spend another stress. Sunshine is trying to reassure you that everyth's fine, but it is not. Chip is nowhere to be found. You actually know Chip really well, so Chip probably got stressed out. Chip's probably in his room. Chip's probably crying. It's a hot mess. You see Santa laying there unconscious behind Sunshine, and Sunshine's like, yep, everything's fine. It's great. He's trying to cover up Santa's.
How many eggs? Does it look like I could pick them up in my apron?
Yeah, there's like 10. You could put them all in your apron.
Okay. Oh, but I can't run because my athletics is 0. Ugh! Sunshine, you've got to get Santa away from here. If this explodes, he'll die. then I'll start working on the eggs.
There we go. Okay, that's more my speed. Nutcrackers. If you could be so kind as to drag Santa gently, just far enough away, and tell him that I did it.
Are you using your princess ability, or are you wanting to use your affection to do this?
Let's try my affection.
All right.
What do you want the target to be?
The target for the Nutcrackers. They do believe that you are the princess. I will say an 8.
Okay, I can just roll, hopefully. Oh my word.
Take 4 stress.
Ow.
They do not listen to you as there's still a fire going on the tree, and so they switch back over to the hose and trying to hose down the tree to get rid of the fire. As you're like,
But my crown.
Holly.
I'm
You
gonna
see that
start it.
Sunshine's efforts are not working. Santa's still unconscious near you. Are you going to try to like move away and defuse these in case they do explode?
Do I get the feeling that the frozenness is like wearing off, or do I think I have time?
It's wearing off.
I'm gonna do it here. I don't have time. There's no time.
We see the little, you know, like in animes where there's like the little hashtag, stressed out look. That's what's happening as Holly's like, oh my gosh. In the apron, the eggs, do you like put them down on the ground and like start dissecting each of them?
Yes, I'm gonna sit cross-legged and take out my candy cane tools, and I'm gonna work on them and try and have a zen moment as I do this.
I feel like the sound of what you're saying to me is either skill or will.
Yeah, I think skill is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be very difficult. In fact, the highest difficulty we've had this entire time. It is going to be a 12 difficulty level.
Okay. I have to get a 3 or higher, but I really don't want to blow up Santa, so I'm gonna can I up a skill by 2?
Yes, you have to spend 2d6.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Oh, 10. I spend 10 candy canes. Okay. So I'm gonna put that puts my skill to 6. Yeah. So I just can't get. I have to get a 2 or more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I won't get any candy canes, but that's okay. I'm saving Santa. Oh God. Okay.
18. You do get it. Make sure to put your skill back down to where it is at. Describe to us what happens as you're able to diffuse a few of these eggs.
Only a few. It's like ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da, and I start working on them like I'm in a spy movie or something. As I'm looking at all these beautifully colorful wrapped wires and chocolate powder in the eggs, and I'm using my X-ray vision to help me figure out which wires I'm cutting. And with all my ribbon wrapping skills, I have some deathly skills with scissors. I was like, snip the right wires in these egg bombs, working through as much as I can.
You've gotten through quite a few of them. There's only a few left. You think that if you get these last ones, this is it?
Okay, let's try again. I got this.
In the background, I'm just like pushing at Santa, trying to roll him, but I don't have any athletics, so I'm not even gonna bother to try and roll.
You want to roll or no?
If the difficulty's over a 6, then I won't.
It's definitely over a 6.
No,
it's like a
no.
10 to push Santa.
It's gonna push restlessly.
We just see you trying, but nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the same difficulty for me?
Yep. A 12.
Okay, I'm gonna increase my skill again.
I will lower it down to an 11 because you did so well that last roll. That you kind of know, now how to diffuse it. Now it's just like the finesse of it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm still gonna increase my skill by 2. I just want to succeed. So I'm going to spend 9 more candy canes. So I'm at 79 now. Increase my skill by 2. And I'm rolling. If I get a 1, he's dead. Oh God!
Well,
I crit again.
ooh, 36.
Holy crap.
No danger.
Might be the
Oh my
highest roll
gosh,
we've ever had.
describe. Yeah, I think that is describe to us what happens as you save Santa from the explosions.
The same sort of spy movie hones in. There's a moment where, in her mind, Holly's thinking, it would be perfect if Chip were here. And then we just like cut back to Chip in his bedroom crying.
Chip, while we're back at you, actually roll a 2d12 because it has been 2 scenes for you. 14. Give yourself 14 stress back.
Yay.
Spirit. And when you're back at that, do you teleport just as Holly was saying she wishes you were here?
Yes.
Just like that, like a magical Christmas miracle, Holly. When you make this wish, Chip is right next to you. Do you say
I feel
anything
much
to
better
her?
now.
I knew you were on the nice list. And I snipped the last wires.
And the last wires are snipped. The Nutcracker soldiers hosing down the final explosion and finishing it as the tree looks like a whole hot mess. Santa's laying on the ground unconscious, and the three of you are all right. Sunshine's still trying to move Santa.
Number fires. Everything's been disengaged. Holly? Chip?
Where's Dazzle?
Dazzle left us. I think he's in somewhere that has eggs. Wait. Yeah. Wait. No. Pumpkins.
That makes no sense, but we'll address that later. We need to wake Santa up.
Okay.
Everybody push with me. Oh, we don't have to push anymore.
Let's tickle him.
Okay. Him. Take off his shoes. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
All right. You all try to tickle Santa. Some of you taking his boots off and tickling his toes, others tickling his tummy, and Santa does awaken. A little disoriented. Part of his uniform is just, burnt or a mess and dirty or whatever it may be, torn. He looks not in great shape as he looks up at the three of you.
Oh, Holly, Sunshine, and Chip. What happened?
There was big explosions of eggs on the tree, and I tried to move you, but I couldn't move you. And then they came with the sled, and then I cried in my bed.
We saved Christmas.
There's some shenaniganery going on in the reindeer stables, and Frosty, I think he's involved in all of these eggs that have been exploding. If we find him, he should have a golden wrapper in his pocket. But I think he
Frosty?
went somewhere.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I saw it with my own elf eyes.
Frosty had the burrs that were gonna drop and murder you? Like a whole bucket of them.
Oh
Oh,
my.
that's what I thought those were.
Yeah. Yeah, you... Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you all for saving me. And
You're
we
welcome.
will investigate Frosty. Oh, I appreciate it very much.
We saved the holiday.
Do you need some candy canes to get new uniform pieces? I got
I
poop on mine
think I-
earlier.
Got that covered, Chip. But thank you very much.
Sure thing, Santa.
We did genuinely lose an entire elf, though.
Yeah, Dazzle, he's gone investigating the arcane thing with the chocolate discs.
So, like, we're down another elf, and that's the thing. But the good is that we can get you all working together again and find the villains, and you'll reward us kindly.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
Dazzle also said that Mrs. Claus was not to be trusted.
Oh, Mrs. Claus is always to be trusted.
Mhm.
I think
That's what
that
I said.
there may be some true sense maybe lies in there, but we'll figure it out. Thank you very much.
And he kind of gets up. The soldiers assist him, and all of you roll 4d6. No, Chip roll 4d6. Everyone else,
17.
actually, yeah, everybody 46.
I'm at
69.
96.
I imagine I'm not included in this on account of being in
You are
another
n-
dimension.
You are not included in this. You did not help save Santa.
I'm also
But-
gonna spend one of my cunning skill so that I can get 30 more candy canes.
Oh my word. Like anybody can even well, I guess maybe Chip, but like can anybody
No.
even compete?
Chat
Right.
said that there's never been someone over 100, and I want to be the best.
All right. Lower
I'm here for this.
your cunning to 3, and I believe you get 40 candy cans, right?
I think it's the new level times 10, but I'll take 40.
Oh yeah,
Holy.
30. You're right.
Okay.
Once per session, you can also reduce an attribute by 1 to gain 10 times the new level. Yep.
So I'm at 126.
Jeez, sure.
I'm at 69.
Nice.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to say to Santa? Did you give him the paperwork that you found, or are you holding on
Well,
to
so I heard Dazzle, and I've examined Dazzle's truthfulness enough
Mhm.
times to feel that I think he's right about not trusting Mrs. Claus, and obviously Santa is going to trust Mrs. Claus. So I think I'm going to have the plan of maybe finding Dazzle's work area or something and like giving him the evidence so that he can deal with
Ooh.
it the next
You-
Christmas?
that?
I don't know.
You make a note of that, Dazzle, in your sheet that you have documents. You have Frosty Chocolate Jumps documents. You took a copy. One of the
I will
copies-
give though the thing that asked to go to Santa specifically that was about like the reindeer berries or the kangaroo berries.
Mhm.
And it seemed like it never got to Santa's hands. That I would give to Santa.
Okay.
That's good to note.
All right. The little travel purpose of travel form.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. That was 2 years ago, by the way, that paperwork that you just uncovered.
Oh dang.
Yeah. So like the Legenteers that are like that wrote that form are probably like losing their minds right now. They're like, oh, it showed up. It took 2 years. But it finally made its way to Santa. So Santa has that. He's not sure what to make of it. He looks a little confused. He actually seems really like very, very confused about everything you guys have stated. But he's taking it to heart, and he kind of sends off the soldiers to investigate. What are the 3 of you all going to do? Your next station is supposed to be what do you call it? Creating presents and wrapping presents. But because the tree is all messed up, if you'd like, Santa will definitely give you the opportunity to help redo the big Christmas tree.
Oh,
Because
yes.
Every year, they've always left right in front of there. It's always been like the big moment where everyone gathers around the big tree and waves Santa goodbye as he heads off. And there's not much time left in Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Do we
Yeah,
feel
I'll
like
help with the tree.
Can I like tell you where to put the ornaments, Chip, and you can teleport there?
I was just gonna. Yeah. Yeah.
And Holly, you can help me put the ornaments together. I have a bunch of visions. I have ideas.
I think
I was
I want to
gonna
work
drag
on
in
my
another
own?
tree.
Oh,
But
This one's all
okay.
burnt up.
do we
Chip.
think that kids won't get presents if we don't work on the presents?
Nope. All the other elves can work on that. Well, we're just 3, 4, 3, just 3.
Do I get that same feeling, Maggie?
No, Santa's actually giving you the opportunity to choose which you'd like to do. Whether you'd like to
Okay.
go wrap presents and create presents for kids, or if you'd like to help with the big tree.
I like how you always doubt me.
Listen.
Giving you no reason to doubt. What?
Okay, I'll help make the tree nicer.
Yes, I have a Yeti theme that I think would be excellent.
Ooh. I'll tie up some ribbons that are white and blue. Maybe they can look like little Yeti monsters.
Oh, yes. And I'll start like telling Chip where to put like our decorations that Holly and I
Right.
are gonna manufacture.
Holly, let's see a skill roll to see how well you create these ornaments. And of course, ornaments aren't super difficult to make, but we will say these are a 7 to make them so that they don't break, like that they're like really sturdy.
I just can't get a 1. All right, we're
Wow.
good.
And roll me a 1d6 for more candy canes.
6!
Shar is just taking all the candy canes.
On fire.
Oh,
The candy caning looks amazing. Chip, are you using your teleportation magic to teleport, or are
Yeah.
you gonna like use something else?
I probably should use athletics since I have a chance for candy canes, but
Mhm.
teleporting's cooler, and I'm not catching Holly. So
You've given up on the race.
Listen, what's
Yeah.
mine is yours.
there we go.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe
there we
there's a
go.
chance they'll get back together.
Aw.
She didn't explode on anyone, so
Somehow.
I kept rolling good enough.
Yeah.
She's close though. What is your stress right now?
I'm less than half. I'm at 7.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Dang, friend.
So we have these beautiful ornaments that are made. Let's see, Sunshine, how well your decorating goes in regards to direction for folks.
Decorating and delegation.
Yeah, and I think that's either affection or skill or possibly luck. I'd even allow will.
Okay, I feel like what have I done the least? I rolled a bunch of affection. I did a bit of skill. I failed on my luck, so let's try some skill. Oh, what was my? Doesn't matter.
I feel like this is gonna be forced stress for you. You've just had a very stressful day.
There's so much going on, and it'll never be
take
the same.
for stress.
Okay.
But I think that you don't necessarily put them in the greatest places. Like you tell them, put them here, put them there,
There.
but maybe your directions aren't
There.
like the best. So Chip isn't quite putting them where you're envisioning it.
I made a
Maybe-
smiley face.
Yeah, there's a smiley
Ah.
face, and then in like one section has too many baubles on one side, and one has like not enough. It's just like,
Is that a ball patch? Oh my. Ooh. Ooh.
but the ornaments themselves look great. What do they look like, Holly?
I think I run with Princess Sunshine's vision. So I do they're mostly made out of like material like textiles and ribbons, but they do kind of look like little Yeti monsters and
Aw.
patches of snow.
Perfect.
Yay.
And maybe they like a little snow kind of trickles off them every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Is it snow
Like-
or is it flour? We'll never know.
It's probably
Exactly.
flour.
Yeah.
I love it. And do the three of you do anything else?
I want to
Do we
go
wanna-
see where Dazzle went, but
I
don't
would
have
yeah.
any.
that. I want to drink some hot cocoa in the last spot that we saw Dazzle, and maybe we can summon him with hot cocoa and I guess friendship. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I can show you where it was.
Yeah.
Do we have enough time? I want us to go on Santa's sleigh too.
I mean, I can make hot cocoa as we walk.
Wow, you're good at making hot cocoa. Okay.
The walking heats it up.
Let's see that hot cocoa roll. I gotta know how good this is.
Oh gosh, it's the
That's a
only
skill.
maid power, or the only elf power I have. So.
And that is a 6 that you need to hit.
MacGyvering hot cocoa on foot in the snow.
How am I so impossibly
Take 3 stress.
bad?
What is wrong with this hot cocoa? As you're all drinking it around the
Oh.
dais, where like you're all like sitting on the dais where Dazzle disappeared. But what does it taste like?
It's cold and it's clumpy.
Ew.
Oh, that was a powder puff of cocoa. Oh, it's fine. It's just it's a little cold.
It's cold and clumpy, maybe too watery or something. Yeah.
Like it's
I-
exceptionally bad.
Like you just scooped up a bunch of snow off the ground. That's how you like MacGyver this.
basically. In just 3 different
love
cups.
I'll pretend to drink mine and then pour it out.
Yeah, there's like a pile of brown sludge behind Chip and Holly. Nice work, princess.
Thank
Yum
you.
yum.
This is what friendship tastes like.
With that, this is what friendship tastes like. We pan forward to the night. The Christmas tree is sparkling once more. They've replaced some of it with like little new branches that have been shoved into the tree where it was burnt. The twinkling lights look amazing. The ornaments themselves are so cool and kind of throw to the Yeti Cave princess that everyone is now excited works in Santa's workshop. So people are like, I work with the Yeti princess. So it's very, very cool. The ornaments themselves are kind of placed in places that don't look quite right. There's patches of them in one spot, one that looks like a smiley face, which is very much more present now that it's dark and all you can see is the little glowing bits on the tree. But we see the reindeer coming down from the hill, pulling Santa's sleigh. It's all of the reindeer that you remember once more, with that gold, flashing red light kind of leading the way. With Rudolph. And Santa kind of pulls up, and all the elves are standing around the big sign as the clock ticks to 0, and then fireworks go off, and Santa, the town crier announces as you hear, doo, 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 and the trumpet goes off, and they announce the winner for this year's sleigh riding is Holly Cookie Crumble.
Thank you. I like shake people's hands as I walk up to the sleigh.
Everyone's clapping and excited, and there's cheering. And do you do a little speech at the? You're like on the ledge of the sleigh with Santa sitting and waiting for you to pop in. You can see that he's already prepared you a little hot cocoa, and it's actually not from Santa. It's from your mom. And there's a little present.
Oh my goodness. This is lovely. Thank you, everybody, for making this Christmas extra special. We couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. Shout out to table number 7.
And I like finger gun to Princess and Chip.
I can't find Dazzle, but shout out to Dazzle too, wherever you
Table
are.
number 6 anyway.
And people are all like clapping for you guys, thumbs upping, giving you all high fives, nugs, or whatever it might be. And as they're like, they give you a shout out. They're so cool. Holly, you pop into the sleigh and you hear Santa say, "Now Dasher and Dancer," and off they go, floating into the air as you get to go higher and higher, and you look down and almost everybody looks like little Lego pieces below you, and you disappear to give toys to all the kids in all the lands.
And I sip on my mom's hot cocoa.
It's delicious. And the screen fades to black, and a darkness sets in. we feel a little trickle of smoke in that darkness. And Dazzle, there's the smell of something. It smells musty, old, so dark. You blink, you like rub your little elf eyes, and you can see flickering in the darkness little yellow eyes looking back at you. They all blink and darkness appears. And when they open their eyes, you see the yellowness in their eyes.
Where am I?
A cackling is heard. Far off in the distance. Slowly the clouds uncover the moon, and you see a red moon glowing down upon you, leaving a red light on the mist below you. And you can finally see that you're not in the North Pole anymore. The trees kind of swaying and looking crackly and almost like they have creepy arms that might grab you.
This place isn't nice at all. There's no carrots or pumpkins. I want to go home.
With that, we will end Happy Holidays Santa RPG 2022.
Ah,
Heck.
creepy.
Ginger snaps all around.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode of our creepy, weird North Pole anime that now has extended into other holidays. I don't know. It's madness.
I think I've crossed the Rubicon
Nope.
this time.
I love it. But we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. We will do our ending. I'll toss it back over to Bentham to do so, and then we'll do our round table of everybody saying where you can find them.
All right. The announcements. The announcements for today. Scroll. Thank you to our supporter for today's episode, the entire Legends group. Thank you very much for the support and also the destruction.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah, I can't wait for the after show to find out what they did to influence
Oh yeah,
everything.
we'll talk about that.
Right?
Yep, and it
Yeah,
will be
we're
a
gonna do
live
the after show live. Yeah,
So if you stick
Awesome.
around, you'll get to see that in a few minutes when we get.
and you
to it.
can ask
it'll
questions
also,
in chat.
It'll also be on the YouTube later, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on chat and we can answer questions. Also, absolute last chance, the holiday surprise for patrons. We said it was over already, but if you sneak in right now, you can still grab it before we truly, really, for realsies this time, close it. So this is the last chance. Hop onto Patreon. There was a post recently, and you can click a link there to fill out a form and then get the holiday surprise. And also, we're sponsored by Roll20, which is what we use today to roll our dice. There's a whole bunch of it's got support for everything. You can run basically any RPG you want in it. Most of them are on file, and if they aren't, you can code it in if you know how to, or find somebody who does. And so that's why we use it for pretty much everything we do. Thank you to Roll20. That's the announcements. So we'll go through where we can find everyone. Who wants to start?
I can start. Hello, all.
The princess. Royalty first.
Naturally. I had such a joy of playing Princess Sunshine, who was in disguise the whole time. Such a reveal. So thank you so much for that. And I'm really happy because y'all sent us this invite and it was like, so you don't know anything about this. We're just gonna toss you in. Here's some game rules. Good luck. And with all of the lore, all of the chaos, I love this like pre-existing world that was magnificent. So thank you so much for inviting me. I have been your non-binary busy bee. You can find me on all social media as @bzelda. I am a podcaster, streamer, TTRPG performer, and yeah, check it out.
Cobalt, what about you?
Hello, I'm Cobalt Treacle. I play lots of action, indie, RPG, strategy games. I'm doing Binding of Isaac streaking. I'm on a PB of like 150 plus right now. And I've also been checking out a game called Chained Echoes, which is a really, really awesome RPG that just came out. It's reminiscent of like Chrono Trigger and like Super Nintendo RPGs, but it's like really well done. I guess it's by like one guy too, apparently from Germany, who killed it. And yeah, I stream almost every day around 5. As soon as I kick this cold, I'll be on there more. So yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast. Had a lot of fun.
Right, Shar.
It's me. Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Bear. I go by Char. My pronouns are she, they, and you can find me on all social media at Charlene Bear. I'm the DM of Tabletop Titties, a queer and feminist TTRPG show where we stream twice a week currently on Twitch, Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, D&D and Vampire the Masquerade currently. So check us out and support marginalized creators. And it was such a joy to be here. So much fun. I love the holidays. I love Roll For It. Maggie, it's always a blessing being under your GMing, so it was great.
Aw,
And so great to meet everybody else. This was my first time with everyone, so it was awesome.
It's great to have you on. As for me, I am Bentham. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch under the name Mangled Pork, don't ask why. But you can find me there playing games usually. We've been doing some multiplayer Valheim. A little while ago we were doing some multiplayer Baratron. We may do some more because a new Baratron update came out recently. And other random multiplayer games too, and maybe even single-player ones. I need to get back to my Terra Invicta playthrough at some point, but I haven't in a minute. It's fine. We'll find time eventually. That's me. And last but not least, our GM, Maggie.
Hello. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope that you really are enjoying this, and maybe we'll do a Halloween episode. We'll see if Dazzle comes back before Christmas next year. Otherwise, there's gonna be some stuff that changes next year.
This
but
messes up the whole thing now. We can like next year could be a whole new cast because I'm dead.
yeah, we'll see. Or you just don't return back to North Pole, right? So I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. I do lots of tabletop stuff and other things on the internet. So if you want to see that, just follow me. I'm also Margaret Crone 1337 on TikTok because I can't get my name in there because someone stole it. But I say that primarily because they're not posting anything. So I feel like, why don't you give? But I also do lots of other things on the internet, like making video games and games. I made this game based off of Made RPG, and I also have made Witches and Spellcraft, which I'm sure if you haven't seen Grimrose Academy, you should. The finale was amazing. I would highly recommend checking that out. And of course, I'm working on a project called Ashes of Creation, which you can find at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. It's been a pretty exciting year for us, and there's only more cool things coming. And in regards to Roll For It, we're super duper excited. Thank you for wrapping up the year with us. We hope that this was a fun way to do so. And we've got so many things planned for next year, which we'll be announcing at some point. But give us a little time to kind of get everything, get all our ducks in a row so that we're ready to rock and roll into 2023. Bentham and I have plans.
Keep an eye on the social media, and we'll be announcing things soon.
Awesome.
All right. With that, we're going to do a live after show, but first we're going to take a little break because we need to pee and get water and things of that sort. But then we'll come back, get your questions, start preparing them in chat, and we will answer as many as we can in the time that we have.
And also, I will get to tell everyone all of Dazzle's dark secrets now.
Oh my god, yes.
I know, I'm sure they're excited. Especially Shar, who was so sus of you.
Oh dear.
Need to know.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.